Buffalo Pepsi. You want to try some? Look at them. Buffalo Pepsi. Look at them. There's different flavors.
The biggest Jags fan of all time, Justin Bachman. To be biased, but
Duval! I'm your host, Frank the Tank Lopez. I'm ready to fight a kid if it happens.
Yeah.
If one kid says one dumb thing tomorrow about Baker Mayfield or anything, I'm punching a kid.
boom!
Mr. Brotherly Love here, Chris Giacobello.
I know how to turn the mics on, Dan.
That's a good thing to
We
know.
got it. Progress.
I'm the first lady of the Blitz, Emma Nosby.
Is it 14?
Yes, Emma.
Anquan Bolden.
Anquan Bolden is a wide
Oh, wait,
receiver.
no.
My name's Dan Dale, aka Double D.
You're quiet. I can barely hear you.
Why am I quiet? Why am I quiet?
Dan, you're quiet.
How am I ever quiet?
Here is The Blitz on 91.3 FM.
Live here from Buffalo State University.
Welcome to a beautiful Friday afternoon here. You're listening to The Blitz here on 91.3 FM WBNY Buffalo, Buffalo's original alternative since 1982. I'm your host, Frank the Tank. And for Friday, we've got a pretty light house today. Joining me in Studio A, the man that pops, Tire Spike.
Hello,
who's, I think, drowning in sweat right now.
I hate the summer so much.
Oh my God. I'm dying. Over there in Studio B, Alex Miley.
You're...
It's over there, right next to him. You know him. You love him. Mr. Duval. Justin Bachman.
Duval.
Oh. Well, last night, we'll talk NBA playoffs, as
Yep.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to make you wait, Spike.
Okay, that's fair.
Wow.
Because last night,
Oh, wow.
Game 6,
Oh, what are you talking?
eerily reminiscent of a last year round 1 playoff series between the Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins. I can't speak today. My head's all over the place. Toronto Maple Leafs forced a Game 7 against Boston after being down 3-1 in the series. This is electric. This is what playoff hockey's about.
This is what a game. Yeah, they're still gonna lose.
Listen, it doesn't. Me and Apps were said it on the thing. I don't really care who wins. I just want to see one. I wish both could lose, and I could see both of them face heartbreak in the same round. But I'm cool with seeing either of these fan bases heartbroken.
I love seeing Boston in despair. So
Yeah, I want to see the Bruins lose. I want to see the Maple Leafs lose. I just want to see it to go to overtime, so a team loses in heartbreak fashion.
Overtime goalie fight. Let's go, baby.
That would be funny.
Honestly, Swayman versus Woll, things could get pretty nasty. And Swayman, I mean, other than fighting, he literally cannot do anything more for his team.
Yeah.
I think. Oh my God, let me look it up, because I think he's been absolutely on a tear right now. You guys can talk about it. You guys can do.
Yeah, no, Slayman has been on an absolute tear. I mean, he's allowed 3 goals in 2 games, and they lost both games. That's kind of pathetic by Boston to score 0 goals in back-to-back games. The Maple Leafs don't even have their best player, and you can't beat them at home or on the road. It doesn't, Swayman's been doing everything he can. He's been the best player in the playoffs so far, and they still might lose this series because their offense has just disappeared.
Yeah, last night he had a .923 save percentage, face 26, save 24, obviously letting the 2 in. I think at this point Boston fans have to be having that deja vu moment where everything is kind of falling into piece. They lose Game 5 in overtime. Then Toronto just straight up wins Game 6.
He had a .939 when they lost in overtime in Game 5 also.
Yeah, you can't ask more. This is just a glorified Buffalo Sabres team.
Yeah. Well, I just got some breaking NBA news on my phone.
Oh, God. Okay.
Darvin Ham has been fired.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, the Lakers coach.
Yeah, that's not shocking.
I mean, it was not surprising, but I literally just got the notification.
He just looks like a guy who has the last name Ham. Jesus. I've seen his face 450 times in the last week, all memes making fun of him. I just never bothered to find his name, and of course it's Ham. Garbage, get him out of there. Losing LeBron no matter what, doesn't matter.
Nah, LeBron's going to be the coach.
LeBron's going to be the coach. They're going to draft Bronny.
I mean, he's known more than like their past couple coaches.
That's true.
He has more IQ than 99% of the NBA and 99% of NBA coaches.
For sure.
Feels like Doc Rivers doesn't even know what he's doing anymore.
No, I mean, Doc Rivers is getting carried by the one championship run he had in 2008. He hasn't done anything since.
But, you know, the greatest playoff coach of all time. Doesn't matter. So Game 7 will be tomorrow between the Bruins and the Maple Leafs. Let's just give a little prediction. I just want to hear what people think is going to happen.
Boston chokes again. The Maple Leafs win in overtime, 3-2. It's going to go to double overtime, and Boston fans are going to be all upset, and I'm going to love every minute of it.
Justin?
I'm not a hockey guy. Never claimed to be a hockey guy. never once thought I was a hockey guy. But if I were a betting man, if I were running the parlay, I'm going Maple Leafs 2-1.
Ooh. Spike?
I'm taking the Sharks.
God damn it.
I'm taking the San Jose Sharks.
Yeah, I forgot.
You can't forget about the Sharks.
The greatest team in pro sports.
I withdraw my claim. The Sharks are winning everything.
I want the Leafs to win. No exact predictions. Just to beat down on Boston a little more. Just give them another L and something.
I'm saying final score 2-1 in third overtime. Toronto wins it.
Christ.
And it's going to be...
Oh my God.
It's going to be on the worst call you've ever seen.
A Game 7, round 1, going to triple overtime. No matter who wins, it should just... The other team waiting in the second round should automatically get 2 wins.
Game
if you
7.
go to a Game 7 triple overtime, the other team automatically starts the series.
Well, I mean,
with 2-0.
the winner gets Florida, so they're probably gonna. Whoever wins this is probably gonna lose in 5 to Florida, anyways.
You know, I wanna
set in stone.
We'll see. You know, we still have a long week and a half.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think Toronto actually does it, just so I can, to give Toronto fans hope.
Yeah,
and then hopefully in the second round, hopefully some hope is crushed again.
Straight down.
Yeah, Toronto's taken a lot of L's recently. Not in hockey, but they're taking L's.
They're
they need
just taking
something
L's.
to win. Yeah.
Toronto itself is just taking L's.
Specifically someone from Toronto.
Been great. All right, but now we can move over to the NBA.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you know what, Spike? Why don't you let us know what happened last night?
So the Knicks advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals, where we'll be facing the Boston Celtics.
Wait a second. Wait a minute. Hang on. Back up.
What? I said the truth.
Yeah?
Tyrese Halliburton is going to act the Knicks' dreams.
If you get...
I'm kidding.
If the Knicks lose to the Pacers and Tyrese Halliburton...
That would be hilarious.
It's not even the Pacers and Tyrese Halliburton anymore. It's the Pacers and...
Say his name.
I don't think I can do it.
Say his name.
DJ McConnell.
Oh, it's over. It's cooked.
Honestly, the first round of the East is probably going to be better than the second round. I see both series going probably 5.
Yeah.
Whoever wins between the Cavs and Magic is going to get stomped by the Celtics, and the Knicks are stomping the Pacers.
No matter who comes out of that, even if the Magic are able to somehow force a Game 7, it doesn't matter. You're facing the juggernaut that is Boston.
Even without KP, it doesn't matter.
Bunch of schmucks over there in Boston.
I agree. They are a bunch of schmucks, but my God, do they know how to play the game of basketball really well. Yeah. And it's annoying.
Yeah, they get to the finals a 1-2 time. Can't win, but they get there, you know. They're there. They're around there. They're around the rock for sure.
So I'm ready for that Eastern Conference Finals matchup.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be really good.
We're just ignoring the semifinals. It's not there. No, but
it's the Pacers. There is nothing there.
There's nothing there.
They only won because the Bucks have an idiot as a coach. Giannis didn't play the entire series. Yeah. Giannis didn't play at all, and Dame missed 2 games.
Obi Toppin is their 6th man. We traded that man away in a heartbeat. I mean, we got the opportunity. Come on.
Obi Toppin was actually cooking, though, yesterday.
Yeah, he did. That's not a good thing.
No.
When TJ McConnell and Obi Toppin have to cook for you to squash the injury-riddled Bucks team by 30, 20? It was 20? Yeah.
It might have been up to 30. I know they did kill them, though.
It was 22, to be exact.
Yeah. It's
the Knicks are
I
running
don't have
away with
I don't
it.
have any worries. But last night was a beauty of a game. Every single one of these games was determined by 10 points or less. This is some of the most intense basketball I think I've watched in my entire Knicks life, because I actually feel like this team can win something. Even though I've been very critical of them the last few times.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, I'm just like, this team's not a championship. I'm not gonna say they are until they make the final, not Eastern Conference Finals,
But the finals.
Then they have to actually make the finals, and then they have to win a singular game in there to be like, all right, maybe. But right now, it's still iffy. But amazing game. Jalen Brunson, 41, 7, and 12. The dude's an absolute nut. Anyone complaining about those foul calls? Those were not Trae Young plays. Trae Young, not just him, but yes, my glorious king has done this sometimes in the regular season. He did not jump backwards into Batum or at Oubre on the 2 plays people were complaining about. He did not jump forward, sideways, right, left, east, south, northwest, wherever you want to say it. He stopped on a dime and went directly upward.
Also, wait, yeah, the Oubre one, he literally jumped up and then
Brunson
a little
stopped
forward.
on a dime. He only went forward because, and Oubre didn't, it wasn't a bad play by Oubre. He was just playing defense, and Brunson stopped on a dime. Oubre's momentum carried him forward. And I think, like, what? 8 billion out of 8 billion human beings on the planet would have some sort of forward reaction if someone carries all of their momentum into your back while you're jumping straight up after you stood still.
Thank you, Isaac Newton.
Appreciate that, my man's Newton. But yeah, Josh Hart closing it out with that 3 post-game interview, saying that he had no intentions of passing at. So he's just an interstellar liar.
He had
intentions.
No, absolutely. If Dante was open, Dante
he was giving
getting
that ball to Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah, but it was cold.
I saw a stat.
Ooh.
Spike, do you know what the final point differential of this entire series was?
Probably like 3.
1. The Knicks outscored the 76ers by 1. That's how insane this series was. Every game was Game 2, Game 5, and Game 6 were some of the best basketball games I've ever watched.
These are great games. And just because the Sixers are a 7 seed, I get it. You know, you see the 2, you see a 7, and then you see really 6 games, really 1 point differential. That 76ers team was injured for a lot of the main season.
They're the third best team in the East.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, that's why they're at 7. They definitely could have been 3, 4. Hell, they could have taken 2 from us if they weren't so injured the entire year. So, I mean, Maxey played an incredible series until Game 6.
Yeah, when I bet on him to get the over in points, it killed my bet. I hit the other ones. I had over on Embiid's rebounds. You
better have had under on Harris's points.
No, I had over on Brunson's assists, and then I had under on Siakam's points. The Halliburton line was a wash because he hit 10 exactly. All I needed Maxey was to score 28, which he's been doing all series. The one time I bet on him,
5.
Yeah. No, he ended up with 17.
He ended up with 17.
He had 5 in the first half.
He had 5 in the first half.
He ended up with 17. He cooked a little in the fourth. But
I didn't pay attention that hard to Tyrese Maxey. I like to ignore him on the court because if I don't, I'm gonna just get into a bridled rage every time I see that man.
Because he had, 45
hoop.
the night before, so I'm like, he's been cooking this series. He can easily get 30 again. And then the one time I bet on him, I would have won like only $40, but I only put $4 in, so it would have been some
I'm
nice
remembering
when
I was
a little bit of parlay.
When I was leaving my dorm yesterday, I remember I was wearing my RJ Barrett jersey, and some guy said, I have Jalen Brunson locked in the over 33 points. So shout out to that man. You got it.
My friend had the over on the Brunson points too. He ended up winning like 60 because he had the Embiid rebounds and a couple other things that ended up hitting.
Yeah, that insane game. I mean, I can't keep putting these close, tight-knit games into words because, God, they take them all away while I'm watching them. Yeah. OG with the absolute slam down on Joel's head top. Screw your messed up knee. If your knee hurt that bad, sit out. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Also, now I think the conversation starts with Embiid and just the Sixers in general.
Blow it up. Build around Maxey.
2018, when Embiid, first step foot. Conference semifinals lost. First round. Another semifinal loss. They have never been to the, conference finals.
He's the only MVP that's never been to the conference finals.
Yeah, like they haven't even made it past the second round.
I don't say blow it up quite yet. I still think Maxey and Embiid. I think you need to get rid of Tobias Harris right away. Get out of him, and then you free up that money to go and be able to build out your depth a little bit more. I still think there's a chance they could do something with Maxey and Embiid. You just have to hope Embiid stays healthy because, I mean, if you trade him away, you're gonna suck anyways.
Yeah.
So might as well try while you can. If he can stay healthy one time, if he can stay healthy for one play, literally one. That's all they need. One playoff run out of him. I think if he can stay healthy, I really think they could go all the way.
Never happened.
Because Maxi's developing into arguably like a top 5 point guard in the league now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Maxi's
he
hooping.
might already. Yeah, I mean he's an absolute beast. And then you just got to get rid of Tobias Harris at all costs. Trade him to Detroit because for some reason Detroit has interest in him. Don't know
Detroit's
why,
worse.
But
Detroit's garbage.
That's not going to help them because Tobias Harris sucks.
They need to get rid of Lowry. They need to get rid of Harris.
I forgot.
They need to get rid of 35-year-old Nicholas Batum because he's good.
Batum was cooking in that.
He was
this
cooking.
playoff.
However, he's 35.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go young route, Maxi, I get veteran presence, but brother is about to be in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Get him
Buddy
out.
Hield you want to keep. He's a good shooter. If he can,
Definitely,
he was
yeah.
inconsistent because sometimes when shooters like change teams, it's so much of a rhythm thing. They'll lose their rhythm. But
of course, he found his rhythm last night.
Yeah,
Give me
Paul
a heart
Reed's I
attack.
think a good backup to Embiid, but I think besides that, you got to get rid of some of those old people, get rid of Tobias Harris, and try and build out that team a little bit better.
I'll tell you what they need, what they really need. I also want side rant.
They need to disband.
Thank you guys for improving my mood a little bit. I am a little crabby at the moment, but you guys are helping.
Nothing Jalen Brunson can't fix.
Yeah, nothing Jalen Brunson can't fix. Nothing great basketball can't fix. But no, I think what would truly make this 76ers team like really elite is not quite blowing it up, but finding your third, right? Like every great team in this every great team in this league has a big three. I mean, we look at the Celtics. I think your big three there is obviously Tatum, Brown, and White, right? Like I feel like that's got to be your big three there.
Yeah, because KP can't stay healthy. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And Derek White in the playoffs is just another level.
I don't know what's going on with that ball.
And I
but he's
absolutely
cooking.
love it.
And then you look at the other side. You look at the West. I mean, you got a fantastic Nuggets team. They've got Murray, Jokic, and I guess you can throw
Michael Porter Jr.
I
was
was
cooking
about to
against
say
the
Michael
Lakers.
Porter
Yeah.
Jr. in there. But like a big three is really important. And I feel like the 76ers are just lacking that like true imposing third option.
Yeah.
They have a great scorer in Maxey. They've got a consistent scorer in Embiid. Now they need a guy who can just put up a casual 17 to 20 a game. And right now they just don't have it.
With decent defense and decent shooting.
Yeah. They just don't have it. I think a good power forward, whether that be in the draft or in free agency, would help them a lot.
It's not going to be in this draft. This draft sucks.
Yeah, no, I know.
The top couple people might be decent. Like there's the dude from France, maybe one of Kentucky's guards, maybe some of UConn's players might be decent. But there's reports that this is like the worst draft ever. So
I mean, UConn's also a young team. They're one of the youngest. They're one of the youngest March Madness winning teams in a while.
Two of their stars entered the draft, Klingon and then their stud guard.
Mm-hmm. But the rest of their
players
team
from
is
Villanova. It works out.
Yeah. I was about to say you just got to grab a bunch
randomly grabbing Villanova players that played together at one point.
Got to go grab a bunch of Villanova guys.
It goes pretty good.
No, bringing that up, that actually brings up. Maybe they go get Mikal Bridges from the Nets.
What do you mean maybe? What was that? You mean yet? It's guaranteed.
No,
it's
I'm
100. It's 157% guaranteed. Mikal Bridges is a Nick.
No, I'm not talking about the Knicks. I'm talking about the 76ers and their third option. We're talking about the Sixers' third option.
I think if Mikal Bridges did that, Josh Hart would genuinely take a gun to the back of his head and just execute him.
No, I'm saying via trade.
It does no. Josh Hart's not letting that. Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson and Dante DiVincenzo will pull up to his house, Italian mobster style, and beat his kneecaps in with baseball bats.
I think the only way
they're not letting Mikal not put on an orange and blue jersey.
I think the only way
year.
Mikal ends up in the Knicks is if they trade OG, and they just traded for OG.
Why would they do that?
Because how are you going to be able to afford?
The Nets have nothing to bargain with. They have no cap. They have no draft picks. Their only good player is Cam Thomas. Now, he's not bad. They're not going to
get
rid of him.
They're not going to trade him. They're not going to trade him to the Knicks for Mitchell Robinson and Miles McBride.
Then Mikal sits out, and then he doesn't do anything.
Wait a minute, you leave Deuce out of this.
He's not bad, but
you leave him out of this.
If you're trading away Mikal Bridges, you're going to want to get a lot better than Miles McBride and Mitchell Robinson.
The Nets have no room to bargain with a man that doesn't want to be there and was only putting up like 14 or 11 points every few games because he just doesn't care about playing for the Brooklyn Nets.
The Nets are going all in for
zero
Devin Booker.
leverage. No, we're not getting Devin Booker.
They're going all ill-informed is what I'm saying.
But
I've
what
seen
if
a lot
you
of
did?
No, a
reports.
random source on Instagram said Devin Booker wants to be in New York because he learned KD's ways of chasing to teams that are better than his because his old head retirement home couldn't win anything. No,
I hate KD.
I don't want Devin Booker on my basketball team. Not to say he's bad,
Wow.
but I don't want Devin Booker on my basketball team. I feel like it would ruin not only the spacing, it would ruin the chemistry.
Yeah, I
Just
agree.
go to Barclays and drag Mikal Bridges by his waves right over to the Mecca
By
and
his waves.
force him into a Knicks jersey. It must. We have all the first. What do we need to draft and send them players for? We have like 8 first-round picks the next 5 drafts. Just send them like 3 of them. There, problem solved. Mikal Bridges is a Knick.
I just don't see it happening.
I do.
I think if the Knicks they're gonna try and go after like an actual star. They already have a bunch of really good players. They
Bradley
need
Beal.
but,
That's
like-
what I was thinking.
Bradley Beal is crazy.
no.
That's basically akin to just Mikal Bridges. That's just the same player.
I think if the Knicks like fall in this postseason, I think it's going to be lack of star power besides Brunson.
We have
Yeah, I mean,
They have a bunch of really
You have
good
Josh
role
Hart. What do
players.
you mean?
Josh Hart's a great role player.
No, he's
Dante
a stud.
DiVincenzo's a great role player.
he's a
Isaiah
stud. They're
Hartenstein's
not
a
role
great
players.
role player. OG Anunoby's a great role player. But Julius Randle, he's been injured the last 2 postseasons, and he's just not great in the playoffs. I don't
No.
think he can be a number 2. I think they just need to upgrade that number 2.
I don't think Randall's here next season.
Yeah, I don't think.
No, I
just
think
he's
Randall's
gone.
a free agent.
Oh, even better. We don't have to do anything. He can just walk. Perfect.
I don't think he's a free agent.
No, is he not?
I
I know he got a big deal a couple years ago.
Let me
But I
look,
didn't-
but I really don't think he is.
a couple 2-3 years ago.
That would probably make everything fine. We send I don't think we'd send Julius Randle to the
Nah,
Nets.
I mean,
just because we actually do like him.
He's in the second season. He's got
contrary
2
to
years
popular
left.
belief.
He's in the second season of his 4-year 117, so he's got 2 years left.
I was right about a couple.
So he's a
Alright.
free agent after the 26th season.
Yeah. And his
I
cap
mean-
hit is $28 million.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
It's
we
gonna go.
paid that.
It's gonna go up
Awful.
though. I think they probably backloaded it because it's 4-year 117, so that's an average of like. Actually, no, it's about 28. Never mind.
He's gone.
Either
he's
way,
gone.
the Knicks.
Mikal Bridges is a Knick.
The Knicks are fantastic. They're playing fantastic basketball.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a free ride to the Eastern Conference Finals because Tyrese Halliburton, ever since December, has forgotten how to play basketball.
Hey.
He
I
got
also-
injured. He tore his hamstring, and then
Okay.
he is not 100%.
Okay, cool.
Sometimes
So is our
hamstring
center.
injuries like that linger, and especially with how bad his was.
Our center like destroyed his ankle like 17 times. He still guarded Joel Embiid
Yeah.
in a 6-game series.
If the Knicks don't at least gentlemen sweep the Pacers, this is insane.
Yeah,
It would be
Tyrese,
insane.
Spicy P, Miles Turner.
Spicy Pete.
And we watched him get locked down. So Mitchell Robinson's gonna just have
Yeah.
his hand in the cookie jar all goddamn game.
Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa. Anyway, yeah. I mean, what a fun series.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Sad it ended.
I haven't gotten to stake my claim, but yeah, that was probably some of the most fun basketball I've ever seen. The final 3 minutes of every game was just it was masterclass. I mean, that last game, what did the Knicks roll out to in the first quarter? A 22-point lead.
it was
and then they were
33-19.
and
at
then
the
they
end of
were
the first.
down. They were down at half.
Yep.
By 3, and then
Uh-huh.
they got up by 10, and
then we
then
went
the
down by 10.
76ers got up by 10, and then the Knicks were up by 7 with 3 minutes left, and then it was a tied game, and then
Josh Hart happened.
Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart happened, and oh my,
we literally
oh
won
my
with the power of friendship.
goodness, it was
We quite literally won that basketball game with the power of friendship.
There are more Villanova banners in the 76ers house than there are 76ers banners in the 76ers house.
Brunson staring up at the Villanova championship banner after he synced that ice cold teardrop after getting stupid, silly little Oubre to foul him is probably the coldest thing I've seen in millennia.
Oh yeah,
Imagine.
It was
Imagine
incredible.
Mark Cuban, these billionaires buying 2,000 of their tickets so we don't take over their stadium just for us to win, eliminate them, and have our star player gaze up to the top of the arena, the part that's supposed to be their most important, the part that puts all their accolades. And there he is, the man ending their season, staring up at something else that he won in a stadium that wasn't his.
Yeah, that would never happen in Buffalo.
Yeah, no, probably not. There are no banners to look up at in
exactly.
Buffalo.
No, I'm saying
Very true.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the owner having to buy tickets because the fans. That would never happen in Buffalo.
No, these people are nuts.
Yes.
But
I take pride in it.
Nuts.
Speaking of,
I claim to be one of those nuts fans. I've jumped through tables myself plenty of times.
as you should. The old elbow drop from the top rope.
Yes, I literally jump off my Bills bus through tables.
Hell yeah.
No
It's
banners.
fun.
So I remind you, last year the Buffalo Bandits historic NLL season.
Oh yeah, no,
What's
you're
wrong
right.
with
You're
you?
right.
That's
You're
not the
right
only
with
one.
you.
They've
You're
won
right.
one
You're right.
banner.
I
No, I think they've won it like 2 or 3
love
times. They won it in the 90s, I think, a
that's
couple.
right.
I love lacrosse.
How dare
I love
you?
it. I
Yeah,
love
don't
lacrosse.
disrespect the
How
bandits
dare
like
you.
that.
I love lacrosse. I love it.
Those banners mean everything to this city, apparently.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
because
love
they
lacrosse.
can't get
I
any
do.
others.
Do you want to see a grown man cry?
Anyway, speaking of
Grown man
teams that
crying. Joel Embiid. Okay. Moving on.
speaking of teams that are absolutely just, I mean, cooking right now. The Celtics.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the
Yeah.
Orlando Magic.
No, it wasn't.
No.
The Boston Celtics. I mean, the Heat. The Heat, they're just so fake, man. The Miami fakers, man. This is unbelievable.
But they didn't have Jimmy.
I don't care about Jimmy Butler, bro.
Tobias Harris over
I'm
me?
so sick of hearing about this playoff Jimmy, this Himmy Butler, this MJ's son. Get him out of here,
That's
bro.
Anthony Edwards.
No, I do got to say something. I was watching, I don't know if you guys watch Jimmy High Roller on YouTube. He's this bone basketball YouTuber, and he was like showed a graph of like how good players do in the playoffs compared to the regular season. And Jimmy Butler was actually in the negative. He actually plays worse in the playoffs, which was really surprising.
Well, that's because
no
his
way.
surrounding cast is like terrible.
But everyone talks about Jimmy being this playoff riser. Statistically, he's actually played worse in the playoffs. He's like more he scores less. Like it was a graph of like efficiency versus how much you score, and he scores less in the playoffs.
But he's just cooler in the playoffs.
I will give you
his
that.
Aura's insane in
and
the
his
playoffs.
moments, he does have some crazy moments and some crazy games. But overall,
I
to call them fakers is wild.
I hate the Heat. I hate
Me
Jimmy
too.
Butler.
I hate the Heat.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Can't do it. And I'm so glad. I wish that they didn't get a game. I really wish that they didn't get one, but of course they were going to get one because it's
they
the
made
Miami.
23 threes in a game and then shot like 13% the rest of the series
They
or
had
something
to break
terrible.
a franchise record to get one game.
They got.
And it was even a close game. Every other game was a blowout, them losing.
They had to get one, but my biggest question, I'm going to look at you, Alex. My biggest question for you is what's going on with Tatum, brother? Who's your big two? Is it Jaylen Brown and Derek White? What happened?
The way the Heat play defense with that zone, it just doesn't match up with the way the Celtics like to play offense. It's basically, can you hit your shots? Tatum didn't have a great shooting series, but he still had a triple-double in one of the games. He still had 20-plus in every game but one. Like, I mean, he wasn't, like, awful. He wasn't the most efficient, but he didn't have a great shooting series. And against the Heat, if you can't make your shot, like, they're going to play that zone where you have to be able to shoot these threes, and he can go very cold from three sometimes. I would like him to drive to the basket more because I think he's really good in the paint. But
His size, he really should be.
Yeah, and he
to the
can make
basket.
some acrobatic I've seen him make some crazy stuff before.
Yeah. Also, he had 12 rebounds.
He did have 12 rebounds. He's a paint guy. He's an in the paint guy. I hate it when not Jalen Brunson. Goodness,
He's
when
on your mind.
I know now he is. When Jason Tatum pulls up from three, it just looks uncomfortable. You ever just watch?
It's a clean jumper, but I would rather just see him dominate in the paint. I mean, yeah, even in a bad shooting series, his splits, I'm guessing, I don't know, was probably like 22, 10, and like 6. He had a lot of assists. He had a couple of games with so he wasn't shooting well, but he was playmaking, which is what the Celtics sometimes lack really badly. So he impacted the game in other ways. He's still a very good defender. But yeah, I think just the shooting was cold, and I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, the shooting from the Celtics end has been cold really the entire series.
Besides Derek Brown,
Derek
White,
besides Derek White,
game one.
But the perimeter for Boston has me scared. It feels like you guys put up a lot of threes that just don't go in. I feel like that's the one thing Boston's always been missing ever since Ray Allen left, man. You can't get that three ball.
Statistically, they're actually one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league.
I'm
they
surprised
just
you
shoot a
don't.
lot of them, so when they miss, it just looks really bad. But when they're hitting their threes, they will beat anyone by 15, 20-plus points if they're hitting their threes because they're that talented. The problem is they just go really cold sometimes.
This is just music to my ears. because again, we're all assuming with full confidence both of us will be in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And no, I think the Celtics series will be a little bit closer I see the Celtics series going to 6 and the next series going to 5.
Because I think the Magic or Cavs are better than Pacers, and the Celtics won't have Kristaps till probably the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if the Magic get by, Pablo's going to be a problem for you guys. Pablo's going to be a problem.
Yeah, but the Celtics, every single player in the Celtics starting 5 is a plus defender.
True.
Like, Drew Holiday's been many defensive teams. Derek White's been pretty close.
No, Tatum
and Jaylen Brown are extremely underrated defenders. They are really, really good defenders. They're almost defensive team level defenders.
I'm giving Drew Holiday his flowers, man. That brother's been playing defense, and he's been playing good defense.
And then
too.
even though Al Horford's washed athletically, he's still very good in the paint. He's actually a really good paint presence. You get him out on the perimeter, you can really take advantage of him because he's like 37.
Of course, because he's old. Old Al.
See, the sound of that little statistic you dropped though about all the 3 balls you shoot, it's honestly symphonies to my ears when you're talking about one of the best rebounding teams in the NBA, if not the best. Brother, you better pray those shots go in. Or Mitchell Robinson and OG and Josh Hart are going to be standing right there to take that ball away and go right back down to the other side of the court.
You can say the same thing about the Knicks. They go really hot and cold from 3 sometimes too.
Yeah, but we rebound better. We just rebound
the
better.
The Knicks probably have a top 5 offensive board in the league.
Oh yeah, no, they are really good at rebounding, but I just am scared if they don't hit those threes. I don't think besides Brunson they don't have anyone who can create a shot. Boston has 4 players who even if the threes aren't going in can go and create their own shot.
We don't need to create the shot. Dante just catches and releases.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if Dante goes cold, Dante goes cold.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If the Celtics can't make their threes, they can still score in other ways. The problem is sometimes, I think, because of coaching, they just decide to take those dumb ISO jumpers. But the Knicks, if their threes aren't going in, besides Brunson, they don't have anyone else who can create their own shot. The Celtics, Tatum can go and get his own. Brunson can go and get his own. Derek White has shown he can go and get his own. Kristaps will be healthy by that series. He can go and get his own. Even Drew Holiday, who's their 5th best offensive player. That's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
I just feel like with this the heart that we play with, how tough we play, even if if Brunson isn't the Josh Hart, like literally speaking of him, like Dante still he drives to the hoop sometimes, and I honestly I've seen it a lot more this series than I've seen the entire season. And it has been actually surprising. Like I see him going under the hoop against Joel and reverse laying it. OG's taking mid-rangers for he started doing that like game 3. I didn't see him do that like all year, and here this man is not posting up, but like pulling up from mid.
The Sixers also don't have the perimeter defenders the Celtics do.
Yeah, no,
that's also very true. Yeah, that's extremely true.
Who on that team is a plus defender besides Joel Embiid?
76ers?
Yeah, who else is a really good defender besides Embiid on that team?
Nicholas Batum?
No, I was about to say.
I guess.
You can chat a little bit about Tobias Harris. He had an awful game.
You're right. He can sometimes turn it on and be a good defender, but if he's your best perimeter defender, that's not good.
Problem.
I mean, Tyrese Maxey's just in everybody's face. Tyrese Maxey, the reason that he's such a good basketball player is because he's just so much faster than everybody else.
Around.
Yeah. And then he goes hot from 3 like he did at the end of Game 5 when he made that 4-point, and then that 3-pointer from the logo.
He didn't do it again.
Oh, my goodness. I mean,
because they started like double teaming him every time he touched the ball. They were they were not letting Maxey shoot in that Game 6.
We learned.
Yeah.
We turned our brains on for a little bit.
They basically decided just let Embiid score and shut down everyone else.
We're still running the 7-man rotation, though. I'm going to shoot Tibbs. We're still running the 7.
Yeah, what do you think they should run?
I don't know. Put Precious in.
I was going to say, do you think they should?
We're playing the Pacers next series. Who cares? Just let Precious Achiuwa and Alec Burks see if they're doing any good.
Well, we have one more series left in the first round for both sides. We've got in the East. I'll let you talk about them, Frankie. We've got the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Orlando Magic, and I mean an entertaining Game 5.
My God, what a Game 5!
Came down to the absolute end of it. The Magic got a little unlucky at the foul line, and it really cost them the game.
But it really feels like Paulo's the only one out there.
It does, and it's the first time this season it's really felt like that.
Yeah. Because when Paulo probably had like 2 or 3 off nights, it felt like Franz was right there to back him up. Or when J.I. was healthy, Jonathan Isaac was right there. Jalen Suggs is putting up good performances. But right now, all of a sudden, everyone is cold except Paulo.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get it. I don't understand what's happening to this team.
It's the Wagner brothers just cannot get anything going.
I don't get it.
They cannot get anything going. Cole Anthony's not even getting any minutes anymore.
God, I forgot about that. He just disappeared from the face of the earth.
I don't know what happened. He doesn't even get starting minutes anymore. Jalen Suggs, of course, suffered that injury in game 1, and then in game 2 he wasn't in, and then he was back in game 3, and he's been in since. But this is a Magic team who just they just can't get a grip, because compared to the Magic's one consistent weapon, the Cavs have 2 in Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, who's playing absolutely fantastic basketball this series. Both of these guys, they're both averaging over 20 points in this series, and they're both playing very consistent basketball. And when you got probably, I'd give them top 3 most athletic centers in the league, and Evan Mobley going up and getting boards. I mean, this is a Cavs team that I've seen look worse, but they just look good right now.
Yeah.
And this is a Magic team that I've seen look better, and they just look worse right now.
I just don't think this is the Magic's year. I think they're in a couple years. I think they could be really good if they could add like a couple of shooters to fix the spacing, maybe a second star next to Paulo.
Yeah, they need a consistent shot.
That team could be really scary. It's just they're just not there yet. The Cavs at least have been. This is their second year of that team. They're meshing a little more in the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I can S-talk my entire time, be like, oh yeah, the Magic are absolutely. This was never our year. This was never it. This was
great experience year, though.
Great experience. It shows that Paulo is, no matter what situation he's in, he's going to be an elite player.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm cool with that. Maybe this is good for, the Wagner brothers, because they're kind of also our backbone next to Paulo.
Yeah.
So it's good for them to get this experience, but
you guys need a perimeter guy. You guys need a guy that you can just pass it out to and put up a
better
three-ball.
guard, yeah.
Put up a 3-ball. I mean, you've just got nobody on your team that does it.
And this is where I miss DJ Augustine. My God.
Oh, my God.
This is where I miss DJ Augustine in moments like this. Even Terrence Ross.
And Terrence Ross
with the occasional game when he just randomly dropped 30.
Yeah. I miss DJ Augustine because of in 2019 in the first round, game 1 against the Toronto Raptors. I'm sitting at a wedding and I'm like, it was a good run. Good first game. We're going to get swept. And then Augustine just hits the dagger. And I'm like, we're winning it all.
I know it sounds.
And then you get gentlemen swept.
Yeah, it's fine.
I know it sounds crazy, but this is a team that could use a veteran leader, and not only that, but a veteran shooter, and there might be one on the market.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
There might be one on the market, and I know I bully him. I bully him all the time.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
But, granted he doesn't go play in, like, China or something. Klay Thompson.
Yes! I want Klay Thompson so bad.
Didn't you disagree with this like 2 days ago?
No, I wanted Klay.
Why?
He actually was still a really good shooter this year statistically.
Exactly.
He just went cold in the biggest game of their season, and he has had some really bad, inconsistent games. But statistically, he was actually a really good shooter this year.
There's not pressure in Orlando.
No,
I love Orlando. Love him. There's no pressure. You come here and it's just like, hey, let's just not kind of suck.
All he's got to do is take kickouts from Paulo.
Let's just go play some basketball,
And
it's just basketball. It's really
play basketball and enjoy Disney
basketball.
World.
It's just basketball.
Oh, Universal's cheaper. Universal's more fun.
Okay, enjoy either. I've only been to Disney once and never been to Universal.
So Margaritaville.
Never been to either.
Margaritaville and City Walk is
That sounds like fun in about 2 months when I turn 21.
Oh,
Fire. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is a Magic team that needs to go out and find a veteran shooter. And it could be Klay. It could be a guy.
And you know what?
It could be a guy like Dame if the Bucks don't retain him.
I don't see them blowing it up after 1 year.
I mean, I don't think blowing it up would be the thing. I think it's just, are you, like,
clearly
you tried it, and are you willing to pay him after what you saw?
Well, the thing is, he wasn't healthy in this series. Giannis didn't play at all, and they had terrible coaching.
Well, it wasn't even the series. I'm talking about, like, the regular season.
I think the regular season,
they just weren't meshing.
But sometimes it takes a year. Sometimes it takes a year to play together for you to mesh, to understand what you're and you also. Their coaching was bad. They thought Adrian Griffin was bad, and then Doc came in and they had a losing record. I think they go and get a better coach, and then they have an full off season for Dame and Giannis to try and mesh, because it should be that pick and roll. like realistically
Should
should
be
be
the
like
greatest
No,
ever.
it's a
absolutely
lethal
deadly.
thing.
Yeah, it should
But they
be.
just I don't know what it was about it.
Yeah, I agree because all these super teams are failing.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And that's why we have the power of friendship in the Madison Square Garden.
Yes, sir. Villanova.
Let's go, Villanova!
And then in the West,
my God, I can't believe.
I can't get a grip on this series, man. I just never know what's gonna happen. The Mavericks and the Clippers. I mean, the Mavericks the other day are playing basketball. Oh my goodness, they're balling over there. Luka and Kyrie for the first time finally look like a cohesive duo in a game. It was unbelievable. And the Mavs went out and won by 30 over a Clippers team that, like, 2 games ago looked fantastic. I mean, PG put up 33. James Harden put up 33.
It's playoff P for you.
Playoff P. Oh my goodness. And obviously Kawhi is officially out for the series for the Clippers, which is
It's over.
A big devastating blow.
It's over.
If I'm
And-
a Clippers fan, I'd be so sad about
When I
Kawhi.
say-
not being able to
It's
stay
a
healthy.
it's a defensive blow, really. I mean, Kawhi just goes out there and he's just in your face. And obviously he's a great offensive threat, but I'm gonna give Kawhi his flowers defensively. I feel like not a lot of people do. That guy goes out there,
my God.
especially for a team that does not play a lot of defense. I mean, you look at the guys on this team. James Harden, PG's obviously a great defender. I'll give PG his flowers too.
When does Ross ever play
But
defense?
I don't think Russell Westbrook's ever played defense ever. And Kawhi and PG were the main defenders on this team, and now you lost your main defender, and you go out and you lose by 30.
I mean, Kawhi had prime LeBron James shaking in his boots.
Yeah.
Did
Like,
Yeah.
come on.
How often do you see wingmen win depoy? It's pretty rare. It's
Yeah.
basically just big men, and he won it as a small forward. That shows how good of a defender he is, that he won as a small forward. That's rare.
Yeah, that is incredibly rare, and unfortunately, I do think this series ends tonight.
I think it ends tonight.
Same.
Just because the Mavericks finally look like they know how to play basketball.
Yeah, it took one game and all
What
of
I
a sudden
said.
Luka and Kyrie are on the same page.
Yeah.
No, Kyrie got outscored by like the 16th man on the Mavericks bench.
Yeah, but still, it's still Kyrie.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah, but it was
they're
really funny.
passing.
No, that
Did you
had to
see
be
Kyrie
mentioned.
the game
No,
before?
that still had to be mentioned though. I feel like that should have been mentioned.
That's fair. But did you see Kyrie
Yeah,
the game
no.
before?
Kyrie went crazy the game before. Kyrie and
that
Luka.
shot he hit with like 4 people on him. Oh my god.
That's basketball right there, folks. That is basketball.
That right there.
Kyrie was still tied for the third leading scorer on the team because Luka had 35, Maxi Kleber had 15, and then Kyrie and Justin Hardy each had 14.
Who? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, but I mean,
Justin
honestly,
Hardy.
that's kind of,
Oh
yeah.
my.
But I do think this series ends tonight, and I'm gonna hold out faith, man. I'm gonna say that the first series in these playoffs that goes to 7 is between Cleveland and Orlando. I'm gonna bet the parlay. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say Orlando wins tonight.
That's
I'm
an
gonna say the
awful idea.
Mavs win tonight,
Mhm.
and we
Orlando and Mavs.
get our first game 7 of these playoffs.
Between the series that it probably shouldn't have been.
No, it probably definitely shouldn't have been.
The most least interesting game 7
Ever.
out of all.
This
of
is
the
gonna be
rounds.
this is gonna be
this.
the least watched game 7.
Absolutely
all
nobody
time.
wants this game.
I haven't watched a single second of any of the first 6 games of my being honest.
I haven't either.
You wanna know-
I haven't even bothered to look for what channel they play on.
You want to know why it's gonna be the most least watched?
Wow.
Game 7, if Magic win tonight, it's on Sunday at 1 p.m.
Nobody's. That's
Fire.
a football time.
Game 7.
Sunday at
I'll
1
be playing
p.m.
football. Actually, not at 1, but I'll be playing football at the end of that
People
game.
are
I play
doing
football
things.
like 2 o'clock on Sundays. So
Yeah, and then the
fire.
Mavericks Clippers get the 8 o'clock slot if Clippers do win tonight.
Yeah, no, that's
They're not
They,
going
they
to.
couldn't put us at like 5 o'clock.
no,
4
because
o'clock?
nobody's
They had
gonna
put
watch.
us at 1 in the afternoon.
Nobody wants
people are
to
either
see
sleeping or outside doing stuff.
Church. They're all
Somebody's
gonna
gonna
be
be
at church.
somebody's gonna be mowing their lawn. Their outside TV's gonna be on. Like,
They're all gonna be at church praying for this game to
crash
end.
into a tree.
Who's got the ball over there? Oh, never mind. I don't care. I'm gonna hit my rose bush. Yeah, a very. I mean, yeah. I think it's gonna be boring, but I do think it'll go to 7.
I hope not.
I think it ends tonight.
I need to see if the Celtics are gonna crumble I need to see if they can and if they will. I need that series to start now now rather than later.
You're a lemon.
As a Celtics fan, I would want it to go more because it gives
crumble?
KP a higher chance of getting healthy.
The Celtics will crumble. Not at all. Not in this timeline. Not in this reality.
No.
However, I would just love to see like game 1 for some reason. Whoever plays them, they just take it, and then like after that, it's like Celtics in 5.
Then you can guys gentlemen sweep them.
Well, then I can just rant about how much I hate Joe Mazzulla more and more because he is so overrated. I've never seen him run an actual play before. It's just have their star players drive in and kick it out, and hopefully they make the 3.
I would love to.
In crunch time, there's no plays. It's
no
just
structure, no
yeah,
nothing.
It's Tatum and Jaylen Brown iso ball, and defenses know that, so they smother them and they can't do anything.
I would love to play against Donovan Mitchell.
Hurts my brain to watch.
I would like to do that.
I hate you, Spike.
I would like to play against Donovan Mitchell.
You don't want to play against Paulo if the Magic get through both Cleveland and Boston?
That'd just be boring. We'd put Julius Randle on the floor if we had to play you guys.
No way. And then we have 2 series, obviously. The first one being the Knicks and the Pacers that are officially confirmed. Game 1 for that series is on May 6th at 7:30.
It's Tuesday.
Yep, and the party that they're gonna have for winning the series will be on Tuesday.
Indeed. And then the other series that is officially confirmed, and probably going to be the best series of the playoffs if the Knicks and Celtics doesn't happen, the Timberwolves and the Nuggets.
Oh my God, that's gonna be so good.
This
is going to be fireworks.
Anthony Edwards versus Nikola Jokic.
This is basketball.
No. I'll tell you what I'm excited for. I'm excited for in the paint. AG versus Cat. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be. Who's getting the rebound, gentlemen? Who's doing it? I want to see AG yam on Cat so bad, bro.
Jokic is going to cook Rudy Gobert, though.
Aaron Gordon comebacks in the
I guess
prime.
I'm still a Timberwolves hater just because I think Rudy Gobert sucks in the playoffs. I think he's overrated. Anthony Edwards is nuts, but I still do not believe in the Timberwolves.
I think
you know what the Timberwolves have? Jaden McDaniels.
They have Jaden
McDaniels.
Has Rudy Gobert ever made it to the conference finals? Even then when they were like the 1 seed that 1 year with the Jazz.
They gave the whole league COVID.
They always get Rudy Gobert always gets exposed in the playoffs. I thought it was going to be by the Suns. I was obviously totally wrong. I just don't see them standing a chance against the Nuggets. I think Jokic and playoff Jamal Murray. I mean, that's going to be a matchup to watch. Playoff Jamal versus Ant is going to be electric.
No, that's what I was thinking was playoff Jamal versus Ant. That's going to be
statistically the biggest playoff riser ever. He's like an average starter in the regular season and a top 10 player in the playoffs. It doesn't make any sense.
Never make an all-star game. Never made an all-team first. But when the playoffs come on, Jamal Murray's him.
Jamal Murray is the reason that the Lakers are in Cancun and or traveling right now.
Yeah.
They're on the plane.
They are on the plane. He's the reason that LeBron Jameson is crying in his lap right now.
The 76ers are on their way.
Crying. He probably goes and looks at his $1 billion net worth and he's like, yeah, I'm fine.
I think LeBron's fine.
It's just basketball to him.
I think Anthony Davis is the one crying.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, LeBron has really nothing left to play for. He's just playing for the fun of it.
He's just waiting for Bronny to come in.
The only guy crying right now is Roy Hachimura because he's garbage. But
because he knows he just lost his job.
Because he knows he's just awful.
Austin Reeves is fine.
Here's a question.
He's bagging women.
Austin Reeves to the Magic.
I saw a question posed. There's probably 2 options that the Lakers are going this summer. They can either try and upgrade off D'Lo and Rui, or they should go for a 3rd star. Which do you guys think should happen?
Blow it up.
Go for no.
I think if they bring back LeBron, they're gonna try and bring back LeBron and keep with AD.
Upgrade Rui and D'Lo.
Yeah, but regular season D'Lo is him.
Regular season.
But it doesn't matter about regular season.
Well, you got to get to the playoffs first.
They do.
Yeah, but they still make it.
Fail and fumble and.
Well, they almost didn't though, and I mean I'll blame half of that on AD being injured half the year, and the other
wasn't,
half.
though.
No, you're right. No, it was D'Lo.
Not this time.
It was D'Lo that was injured half the year.
AD actually's been pretty healthy the last couple years. Since 2021, he's actually played like one of the leaders in games played. Surprisingly.
Wow.
He's just always day to day. He just always seems to play.
Glass bones AD.
Glass bones AD.
He's taking away the stigma.
But I don't know. Maybe you blow it up. Maybe you don't. I mean, you got COVID year, which I mean, I guess it half counts. I guess you half got a title.
I'm gonna give them 100% because every other team had to play in those same conditions.
Well, yeah, but
this is my
and the Lakers were like,
Lakers...
it wasn't like the Lakers were some 8 seed that just got hot because of the bubble. They were the 1 seed in the West, so they were one of the. It was between them and the Bucks being the best team in the league that year. So it wasn't like they were some trash team that got lucky and got hot.
Oh,
they
no,
were
I'm not
one of the best
saying
teams,
that.
and then every team had to deal with the bubble, and they went through and they dominated everyone.
I agree.
That is true.
It's not a Mickey
why the
Mouse title to
bubble
me at
counts.
all. Honestly, that's one of the hardest titles to win. Literally, you have nothing.
No
but
crowd.
Like, nothing. And
no momentum. There's literally the possibility for momentum is at 0.
And all you're there is just eat, sleep, basketball. That's got to be tiring. There's nothing else to do to take your mind off the mental wear and tear.
No family. Again, no crowd. There's nothing to engage with. There's no one to argue with. There's no random drunk man who paid $5,000 to sit in the front row.
That Pacers guy was hilarious.
There's none of that. It's all taken away. No reactions to the refs. There's a bunch of people on screen. It's just hooping.
And then after the game, you just go sit in your hotel room.
And then you shake hands, and then you split off into the same hotel as the other team you just watched. Like, come on.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely I agree 1,000%. That title is one of the hardest titles anyone could have won in the NBA history. Not a Mickey Mouse title.
I'm not calling it a Mickey Mouse title.
The 2020 World Series one? That's a fluke.
That's
a different story. I'll give you that. Yeah.
If the Rays had won it, I would be very different. But since the Dodgers won it,
this is my team.
Listen. All I'm saying is that the only sport that I was watching in 2020 was the WWE. I watched Drew McIntyre hold up that title. I did it, Drew. I cheered for you. I did. But on that note, we should probably go to break.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break here. It's 2:52.
Go to break. Maybe I'll whip up a quick game. And I'll whip up a little quickie. Oh wait a minute, I probably should have said that.
Let's refrain from that.
Yeah, right? You're right.
We'll probably be back at the top of the hour. You can listen here to the Blitz on 91.3 FM WBNY. We'll be right back after these short few messages.
To be an architect.
My dream is to be a chef.
This is a world of possibilities. A world in which people who put their minds to something can really make a difference.
My goal is to help the environment.
Someday I'll find a cure for cancer.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we believe that aspiring minds can achieve anything. So we dedicate ourselves to making sure everyone has an opportunity to go to college. Each year, we provide more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds, making higher education possible for anyone at any stage of life.
I can go back to college.
I can change careers.
I can make a difference.
Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 in the morning, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
La pandemia de COVID-19 ha afectado nuestras vidas. Enfrentamos una pandemia de salud mental que amenaza nuestro bienestar mientras reconstruimos nuestras comunidades.
La pandemia nos ha recordado la centralidad de la familia, la comunidad y nuestros vínculos afectivos. A muchos de nosotros nos ha dejado más aislados, confundidos y luchando por encontrar el sentido ante la pérdida y la incertidumbre.
1 de cada 5 estadounidenses tiene problemas de salud mental, pero muchos no sabemos cómo pedir ayuda.
En la Fundación de la Asociación Americana de Psiquiatría entendemos por lo que está pasando y estamos aquí para ayudarlo. Trabajamos para eliminar el estigma, combatir las enfermedades mentales, los trastornos por consumo de sustancias y construir un país mentalmente sano. Si usted o un ser querido necesita ayuda, no está solo. Visite lasaludmental.org para obtener más información.
The sun's shining, birds are singing, and all feels right in the world.
Until the season changes, and suddenly everything seems darker, less lively, and you lose your motivation to get out of bed.
If you struggle with depression, you're not alone. In fact, 1 in 5 people experience some form of depression, and no matter the time of year, it may affect your behavioral or physical ability to live a happy life.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, we understand what you're going through, and we're here to help. Our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all, because we want you to live your best life and be your best you all year round. We work every day to eliminate stigma, combat mental illness and substance use disorders, and advance mental wellness.
If you or someone you love needs help, you are not alone. Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
One day, I'll teach chemistry to kids.
I'm going to be an architect.
My dream is to be a chef.
This is a world of possibilities. A world in which people who put their minds to something can really make a difference.
My goal is to help the environment.
Someday I'll find a cure for cancer.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we believe that aspiring minds can achieve anything. So we dedicate ourselves to making sure everyone has an opportunity to go to college. Each year, we provide more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds, making higher education possible for anyone at any stage of life.
I can go back to college.
I can change careers.
I can make a difference.
Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 in the morning, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The sun's shining, birds are singing, and all feels right in the world.
Until the season changes and suddenly everything seems darker, less lively, and you lose your motivation to get out of bed.
If you struggle with depression, you're not alone. In fact, 1 in 5 people experience some form of depression, and no matter the time of year, it may affect your behavioral or physical ability to live a happy life.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, we understand what you're going through, and we're here to help. Our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all, because we want you to live your best life and be your best you all year round. We work every day to eliminate stigma, combat mental illness and substance use disorders, and advance mental wellness.
If you or someone you love needs help, you are not alone. Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
Medicaid.
Last one.
Médica gratuita o a bajo costo para niños y adolescentes. Las visitas al hospital, citas médicas, medicinas recetadas, vacunas y más están cubiertas. Esto da tranquilidad a los padres si un niño se enferma o se lastima. Y los padres ahora también pueden ser elegibles para Medicaid, aun si han solicitado antes. La inscripción siempre está abierta. Visite ensurekidsnow.gov o llame al 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Pagado por el Departamento de Salud y Servicios Humanos de los Estados Unidos.
Following that breaking news in the NFL where the Dolphins are signing Odell Beckham Jr. to a one-year deal. That's been confirmed by our Jonathan Jones. That contract starts at $3 million and can reach up to $8.3 with incentives. The former Pro Bowl wide receiver last season, of course, spent the time with the Ravens after missing.
Welcome back to 91.3 WBNY, Buffalo Original Alternative since 1982. I'm still your host, Frank the Tank. Spike is somewhere here. I think he's still getting a sandwich. But over there in Studio B, I'm still joined by Alex Miley.
Here.
And Mr. Duval, Justin Bachman.
Duval, I actually kind of wish that you saved that segment because that segment right there actually plays into my game a little bit.
Oh my God! Why didn't you tell me?
Well, because I didn't want to tell you the game, but we'll get there. I'm gonna need a little bit of time, so why don't you guys go ahead and rant about hockey for a second?
So I know to guess OBJ.
No,
Let's
you
go.
don't. No, you don't know to guess OBJ.
Yeah, so OBJ. Oh my God! We're good over here.
I don't think so. I don't think you are. I think you need some water.
OBJ signs a one-year deal with the Miami Dolphins. I personally do not care.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters at all.
I think it's funny, honestly.
It's funny. Because, and then Jalen Ramsey tweeted out, I think it was him or Odell, but the last time they were on the same team,
they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that's when you had Matthew Stafford as your quarterback and not Tua turn the ball over.
Also, in those comments, people were like trying to like roast Odell for that. Literally until halftime when he tore his ACL, he was projected Super Bowl MVP.
He was cooking.
So all the people that were like flaming Odell, yeah, obviously since then his time with the Ravens wasn't, great.
Oh, when you have a running back throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. Wasn't top 10 quarterback, but still got MVP. Don't understand how that works.
No, it was one of the most fraudulent MVPs I've ever seen in my life.
Don't get it.
Yeah, he's got two of the most fraudulent MVPs.
No, the first one, I think he rightfully deserved that one.
I don't know. That was debatable.
And then listen, I love Lamar. I think he's great for the NFL. But all like Lamar fans who use his two MVPs now to like rank him over Josh.
It's insane.
When they do like the quarterback rankings, Josh is still top 3.
Josh is better than Lamar. I just don't think they're in the same tier.
No,
the
they're
only people. I mean, Mahomes is obviously by himself. I'm not debating.
Mahomes tier.
I think Josh is clear number 2, but the only other quarterback I could see you even making a debate for is Joe Burrow.
Yeah, those 3. I think those 3. Mahomes is number 1.
Yeah, if you say Mahomes isn't number 1, even as a huge Bills fan, and I love Josh Allen, he's my favorite player. If you think Josh Allen is better than Mahomes, you do not know football.
No, Mahomes is undoubtedly quarterback number 1 for the future. For
I understand as a fan wanting Josh because of like the aura around him and like his just the type of person he is. Like I think he's a little easier to root for than Mahomes because he doesn't cry like a baby to the refs.
Ooh.
Caught myself. But like as a pure football player, Mahomes is undoubtedly better.
Yeah. But I don't think Odell being added to the Dolphins offensive roster bolsters anything for him.
No, I really don't.
I mean, he's better than the wide receiver 3 they've had in the years past, but I just don't think Tua's good enough where it matters.
Welcome back, Spike.
It wouldn't be a show without me being 5 minutes late after a break and getting a sandwich.
How's your sandwich?
We're going to find out.
What sandwich you get?
Went to D-Hall because I'm out of dining dollars, so I just get the little Make-A-Wish Subway in the corner. I got a little pepperoni, turkey, pepper jack cheese, spinach, onion with some chipotle sauce, a little garlic aioli, and threw a little Cajun seasoning on top.
That sounds so much better than anything Subway has to offer.
I'm not gonna lie, those don't hate on Subway.
The sandwiches in D-Hall, if you just pick the right things, they're pretty slamming.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie.
I get double bacon on my Subway subs. Ooh, so good.
Double bacon?
Oh yeah, I don't care if it's $5 or whatever it is.
Nah,
That's outrageously expensive.
Hang on.
Bacon's amazing.
Hang on. Do you do it the right way though? You get the bacon, but before
I'm
you
eating
put the
this in here.
cheese, before you put the cheese on your
Apologies.
sandwich, you have them put the sandwich in the toaster first.
And
Cook
you have-
the bacon.
you have them put the
and
cheese
then
in the
you have them
toaster
put
first.
The cheese on it.
No, the melted cheese makes it so much better.
Yeah. You put the cheese on it and you put it back in the toaster. So it's a double toast.
Oh, I don't want it double toasted. No.
Oh, really?
No, the bacon. I think with the one toast, I think it's good enough.
Okay, I mean,
Or you can eat.
Some people like their bacon
crispy.
Yeah, some people like it really, really crispy. So
Or
I get that.
you can have an entire shrimp Alfredo pasta before every single NFL game you play. Shout out Lamar Jackson.
Shout out Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
we were
and
just
speaking
talking
of
about
the
him,
Ravens, talking about the Ravens and Odell One Leg Jr. Who was is Saul Goodman his agent? How did he fleece $8 million out of them?
It's probably incentive based, is my guess.
How did he get $8 million? What, stand there and look pretty?
Well, when you said that, didn't you say it was like $3 million up to $8 million? So I'm guessing it's $3 million guaranteed, and then it's probably incentive based if he goes off.
He's not going.
That's similar
his
to how
incentives
his
not
Ravens
tearing his
contract
ACL.
was.
His only incentive is to not tear an ACL.
I think his Ravens contract only sat at like 7 or 8, and then it was up to like 15 with incentives.
Yeah, the source said it's a 1-year deal worth $3 million with incentives that can push its max value to 8.25.
Yeah, so probably if he like makes a Pro Bowl, has like 1,200 yards, stuff like that, that's never gonna happen.
All right, wide receiver 3 is Braxton Berrios. I love Braxton.
I like Braxton
I
too.
miss him. I miss him so much.
Jet.
But I still think Odell's better than Braxton.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
But Braxton's fast, and he's got
a good returner.
He's fantastic.
Wait. I hate to talk my mouth full. But Berrios is going to get so much more important this season.
Because of the new
rules. Wait, I'm just realizing that. Oh, my.
That's why I love the Bills drafting that cornerback they did in the 6th round, because he's an electric return man. He had like
Berrios is actually gonna. I'm not saying he wasn't important before, but like he wasn't that big of a factor. Now that they act like returns are a serious thing, that's gonna be a problem.
Which I
Braxton
love. That
Berrios
it's a
is gonna be an
serious thing
issue
now. Bring back special teams.
Quite literally, special teams.
Special plays.
Sketch
Special
could not
plays.
have gotten famous at a more better time in the NFL's history when they're bringing, quite literally reviving special teams, special plays, and the special players that made them happen.
Yes.
I mean, the Jets went 2 running backs back to back. I guarantee you one of those is for the exact
Not
reason.
Braylon Allen, I promise you
It's
that.
not him. It's definitely not him.
Who was the other one they drafted?
I know his last name's Davis. I just can't remember his first name. I think it starts with an I. But both of them had like identical junior senior years before getting drafted. Like
Braylon Allen's a power back. He's
Yeah.
actually the first player drafted in 2004 to make the NFL.
Stop. Yeah, and I was born in.
So he's younger than me, and he's in the NFL. That's absurd.
Depending on his birth month.
He's significantly younger than me.
Yeah, in his freshman year, he was running people over at 17 in my freshman year.
You've seen those pictures he shared on social media of him at 17?
No,
it's
bro,
actually like ripped. It's insane. I saw a picture like maybe like 2 months ago. It was him at the gym when he was 17. I'm like, this dude is insane.
That's why.
Isaiah Davis is the other guy we drafted.
From where?
Isaiah Davis?
I thought
it was Isaiah.
Where is it? Come on. Dakota State. There you go.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness. We know about the guys that come out of North Dakota State. Carson Wentz, baby.
Trey Lance.
Easton
Stick.
Easton Stick.
Christian Watson.
Christian
Brother Baldwin, he was
6 games is amazing.
Yeah, Christian Watson for 6 games was the best wide receiver in the NFL.
2022
If he could have stayed healthy, he had a couple of really good games last year towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
He just was battling injuries so much. I mean, him, Romeo Doubs, and Jane Reed, they all take that step. That's a pretty dirty receiving core.
Especially with Jordan Love.
I do like what they have over there.
I've always liked the Packers because I was
really like that it's Jordan Love throwing them the ball.
When the Bills were terrible, I needed an NFC team to root for. and I chose the Packers because of Aaron Rodgers.
Outrageous.
I really loved Aaron Rodgers.
So when the Bills suck, do you have to still follow Aaron Rodgers?
No, the Bills aren't going to suck, and now I don't like Aaron Rodgers because he plays for the Jets.
I tried.
You could have picked any NFC team and you picked the Packers.
The first fantasy league I ever did, Aaron Rodgers was my quarterback, and it was like a 6-7-year-old, and I kind of just fell in love with him from there. And he was putting up MVP numbers, and I'm like, it was like, it's cool to root for Aaron Rodgers. Won the Super Bowl right around when I first started following football.
If I'm picking an NFC team, that's my favorite team because obviously Duval. I'm a Jags guy. But I love the Saints. I love Drew Brees. As much as I'd give Baker Mayfield a kiss if I saw him. I just love Drew Brees.
For me now,
such a fun team.
For me now, it's like a team kind of a team there for. It's more so a player is Jalen Hurts because I called that breakout like before last season. Ask like anyone I talk football with. I'm like, Jalen Hurts is going to be a stud. They added A.J. Brown. I'm like, he might win MVP. Like I drafted him in every fantasy league I had him. Like this dude's going to be insane. Like just the progression, and he went off and they made the Super Bowl. So I really like Jalen Hurts. Also from the MMG. I don't know if anyone watches MMG. The Wheel of Mutt. When gold Jalen Hurts led him to a Super Bowl and Wheel of Mutt. Like just. I don't know. I really like Jalen Hurts now too, so I kind of root for the Eagles a little bit, but it's hard too with how terrible their fans are.
Yeah, no, they are just horrible people. Shout out to Chris. Horrible person.
I guess maybe not Chris, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I know.
Hold on. I have a little rant. I'm gonna see if I can get it to work because I have to find the right clip because apparently no one else can find it.
You rant because I'm still game creating.
The sandwich is pretty good. I want another one.
Why is it not playing?
Go get me one, Spuckle.
Oh, I will.
Oh, here we go. All right, let's see. I may have to skip through to find the actual clip, but
greatest. Mike Trout is a sensational player when he's healthy. One of the greatest. He really, really is. And I'm a huge, huge fan. But I've grown disgusted with his lack of availability. It makes me question. I know he looks the part. What the hell are you doing to take care of yourself? Always injured. I mean, damn. It's baseball. I mean, what are we talking about here? It's not football. It's not boxing. It's not the UFC. You're not running up and down the court 94 feet basketball for 82 nights a year. It's baseball. Half the time y'all out standing out in the outfield, chewing on pumpkin seeds or something, waiting for a fly ball to come your way. How the hell is he always hurt? I don't understand this.
He is always hurt. It gets worse.
It drives me nuts when I see baseball players getting hurt. What is it that you're doing with yourself physically that you can't stay healthy? Playing baseball. Now, you get hit by a pitcher, so that's different. I get all of that. But these oblique injuries, you're running around the base, you catch a hamstring injury, you're running out for a fly ball, and all of a sudden something gets tweaked. What the hell is going on? I think you talk about karma with the New York Knicks. How about this? How about this, doggy? Maybe it's karma for him that he stayed with the Angels.
I hate this man.
I'm going to have to join you once you're done, Frank.
Let me tell you something. As somebody who played baseball for a while, injuries happen, and I can name you plenty of reasons why.
Yeah.
Simple science.
Simple science. But let's not forget that you're running around in the outfield. Let's say a shot for the most injury-prone defensive play in baseball, other than taking on a pitch, is a pop-up middle field.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got the second base, the shortstop, and the center field running into an area, all looking up, and none of them are saying nothing. They're trying to catch the ball.
They're trying to see who can get it to call it.
People get their knees taken out, ACLs torn. They run into each other, knees to heads.
2 years ago, I think Josh Naylor in the outfield for the Guardians. It was the second baseman and the right fielder coming out and collided, and you see his ankle just flopping after getting hit.
Yep. I saw that clip literally yesterday.
And Stephen A. talking about like oblique and the soft tissue muscle injuries. It's basic science. If you're standing there, you're going to get cold, and then at the hit of a ball, you instantly have to start running. That's the definition of how you tear a muscle.
Yeah.
Yep.
And basketball or football, you're running around constantly. Your muscles are going to stay warm. The blood's going to stay pumping. But in baseball, you're standing around, and then boom, you have to move right away that quick, or you're gonna miss the ball, or you're gonna get out at first. That is how you tear muscles. Literally, like that's like the definition of it. If you understand basic science and basic biology.
Yeah, and that's why when before the pitch is thrown and when it's released, most players do like a little reaction, like give themselves like enough time, like they either jump or just get themselves ready to react if the ball's hit. So, and the fact that he said it's karma for staying on the Angels, I want this man to, I want him off ESPN. I'm sick and tired of Stephen A. Smith. Cover basketball. Move to TNT. Move anywhere else that's not talking about any other sport except basketball. You also averaged 1.5 points in college at a D3 school. Okay, Stephen A. Smith. You are the absolute worst social media pundit, sports analyst, honestly, on earth right now. Worse than
Nick Wright.
I like Nick Wright.
Oh yeah, you're not a Bills fan, so you don't understand. You don't understand the idiocy that gets annoying when he talks.
It's a little annoying, like sometimes, but like he doesn't get under my skin, like to Bills fans.
That's fair.
But Stephen A. Smith, that
Skip Bayless. What about him?
No, Skip Bayless is just a clown.
Yeah, no,
he's a clown.
That guy's literally just a lemon.
Yeah, I don't take what I've never took what Skip Bayless has ever said, to like heart.
That's fair.
Or use it as like, well, this Skip Bayless brought up a great point. Never brings up great points. At least Stephen A. Smith has brought up good points.
Where it's like, what you're talking about. Why are you saying this?
Yes, but this one, it's the same thing where it happened 2 years ago where he said Shohei Ohtani cannot be the face of baseball because he's not English and doesn't speak English.
Be insane if he pulled a Yao Ming and just started speaking fluent English.
Stephen A. Smith needs to stick to just basketball. He occasionally will have a decent football take, but he should. That's partly why you never see them, barely ever see them talk about baseball and hockey. I think the only time they ever talk about baseball is probably in Wednesdays when Mad Dog comes on the show because he actually understands baseball, but you rarely, because he knows nothing about baseball. And to say karma for someone wanting to stay loyal to the team that drafted him, like you don't understand, like as a pro athlete, the team that takes a chance on you, the team that drafts you and develops you and wants you to be great, you're gonna owe them a lot because they changed your life. You're gonna want to stay loyal to them to the most you can. Yeah, they've kind of screwed them. And as a baseball fan, I want to see Trout somewhere else because the Angels are a dumpster fire. But I understand he's built a team. He's built a house there. Probably he's been living there for so long. Probably has a family there. Why does he want to just get up and leave? I understand why he wants to just stay there and enjoy life.
It's also it's still technically L.A. Like it's Anaheim. Like
exactly.
If he's living out there, West Coast, beautiful weather all the time. Why they're paying him hundreds of millions of dollars to still be the best baseball player on the field. Before this now surgery, I had him first in MVP voting.
That's fair.
I would still have him first.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Now it's probably Soto.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Soto now, but I think before it's between Soto and Trout.
Yeah, and I personally, not because I love Juan Soto. I love him. Not anymore, but Yankee.
Why did you love him before?
I just don't know why. He was.
Oh, you just don't like the Yankees though?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a Rays fan. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I still have respect for Soto. Like I want to love Aaron Judge so bad.
He's just
you can.
You
really can't. No, you can't.
I mean, that's fair. Like when the Patriots owned the Bills for so long, I still liked Rob Gronkowski.
That's different.
But that's also because he grew up in Buffalo, so there's part of that.
Like I had to talk with a Yankee fan. And he's like, dude, I love Randy Arozarena, but I also hate him. I go, I understand it. That's how I feel about Judge.
As a Yankees fan, I respected the hell out of Big Papi.
Yeah, I mean that was just.
Yeah,
Derek Jeter was one of my favorite players.
I'm gonna verbally disagree, but mentally I know that I have to give him the flowers.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Papi.
Verbally, I'm gonna disagree. In my head, I'm gonna have my own thoughts.
That they do everything right, and they're just that good, and they have that aura around them that even if they're a rival, you have to at least respect them and like them to a T. You can root for them to suck when they're playing your favorite team, but you can still root for them as a person and a player.
So the Angels suck now, right?
Well, they sucked before that. They were one of the. They were like 11 and 18 while Trout was leading the league in home runs. And
I'm taking the Guardians minus.
Yeah, but he had 11 home runs and I think. 15,
only 18
16,
RBIs or something because every single one of his home runs were solo shots because no one could get on base.
No one can get on base for him, and it's annoying. And then they're like, "Wow, Trout really has a problem with hitting with runners in scoring position." I'm like, brother, there's no runners anywhere.
There's no one in scoring position.
If no one can get in scoring position, how is he supposed to hit with them in scoring position?
It's so annoying.
Figure it out.
These
He's just
injuries,
gonna do
because
it.
he really could have went down as the greatest baseball player ever until these injuries. Now it's just with his age
Now
and
it's
the fact
just
that he hasn't played a full
sad.
season in like 5 years, it's not possible. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he was on that trajectory for sure, and
for sure.
injuries just ruined it, which really, really sucks because It also sucks that like he doesn't have the recognition. Like if you don't like baseball or pay attention to baseball, you probably don't know who Mike Trout is. Same thing with hockey and Connor McDavid.
Yeah,
They do a terrible job at marketing their stars.
They showed, they did like a experiment where they showed pictures of like, do you know who this is? And it was a picture of Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
And
No
he is the best he's the best athlete in pro sports right now.
But I feel like you could do that with football sometimes because there's a lot of times where I just can't put a face to an NFL player because I'm so used to seeing them in their helmet.
If it's Mahomes though, like the best player in football,
Well,
a good player I get, but
we're talking about like the best.
if you show a picture of Mahomes to every person in America, probably at least 80 to 90% of people can be like, oh, that's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, like if you went overseas and you showed someone a picture of LeBron, they're like, hey, that's LeBron James.
Yeah. Or even like in America with Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, everyone knows who. I could put I don't pay attention to soccer that much. I know who they are.
Maybe you can even get a couple, like a good 70% of the population on Mbappe too.
Or if you want to go to a sport that's not a sport, Tiger Woods. Everyone knows who Tiger Woods is.
Yeah.
People don't.
Michael
a lot of people
Phelps.
don't watch golf.
No one watches swimming.
Yeah.
And
everyone
Michael
knows who
Phelps hasn't won anything in like a decade. People know who, at least
I can
know.
even tell you who Katie Ledecky is for swimming.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I mean, that's a little bit more, but I know who
that's an insane pull.
Yeah, I know.
A mythical pull.
But I loved Katie Ledecky in the Olympics.
She's like the most dominant woman swimmer ever.
Yeah. Simone Biles, Gabby Douglas. I know who those two are.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin
Clark.
That's my
show
wife.
someone a picture of either Mike Trout or Connor McDavid, they're probably there's like a 42% chance that they get it.
If they're a sports fan, like if they pay attention to hockey, they're obviously going to know. If they pay attention to baseball or just they pay attention to sports in general, there's a good chance they'll know. But if they're not a sports fan, it's pretty unlikely they're going to know who either of them are.
Or they just kind of follow like one sport. Like if they just kind of like live in Indiana and all they care about is the Colts. I don't think they're gonna know
or
who
like
Trout
they
and
live
McDavid.
down south where
all they care about is the Colts.
Where it's just football.
football.
You live in
Yeah.
Texas and all that matters is football.
So you're just like, I don't know who that brother is right there.
Reds or the Orioles? Which one?
Who's pitching for the Orioles?
That's a really good question.
If it's Burns, then absolutely.
No, Burns pitched 2 days ago. It's the only game the Yankees won in the series when Corbin Burns pitched because Oswaldo Cabrera. Because Luis Gil pitched 6 scoreless innings and Oswaldo Cabrera had a 2-run home run. They won 2-0.
Irvin is pitching. Irvin or Irvine is pitching.
It's probably like their worst pitcher. So I would go with the Reds.
Like the Reds?
Ellie
yeah, but
De La
the Reds
Cruz
have
has
Greeny pitching, and he's got a 1-2 record at 3.6.
Yeah, but
3.6 isn't bad.
Yeah, but Ellie has been on fire.
I would honestly probably pick the Reds there.
Reds. All right. Thanks for fueling my dedication, not addiction.
Speaking of Orioles, we'll stick with baseball a little bit. Jackson Holiday finally got sent down. It's probably been a few days now.
He just wasn't ready.
Get sent down. Now the Yankees take him. Let's go.
I think he's still the best prospect in baseball.
1,000%.
But he just wasn't ready. The real question is, when are the Pirates calling up Paul Skeens?
The real question is Giants or Phillies?
I get the way they're playing Skeens because they don't want him to get injured with like how hard he throws. They're trying to be as careful, but it feels like they're being a little too careful. He hasn't pitched more than like 3 innings in a game. I want to see how he can do in a 5th or 6th inning. That's really what's going to matter.
What is it? He doesn't. What's his RA in AAA right now? But isn't it insane?
Yeah, but that's because they have him pitching 2 or 3 innings at a time. They take him out
the Rockies
because they don't want to injure him, which makes sense. But if he's going to be an actual starter, you're going to have to see, can he go 5, 6, 7 innings and be productive in that 5th, 6th, 7th? Because there's some people that can just throw heat for 3, 4 innings and they fall off at the end. And it doesn't matter how good you are in those first 4 innings if you still allow 3 or 4 runs in the 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
Can the Rays beat the Mets?
No.
Okay.
The Mets, I think the Mets are pretty bad too.
Are the Rockies going to beat the Pirates?
No.
Okay.
The Rockies are the first team since 1900 to be trailing in every single one of their first 31 games.
Oh my God!
They've been trailing every game so far this year.
That's such an insane stat.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
That's how bad they are.
Oh my Lord!
And
31 straight games of just never not having a lead at like the first one to have a lead.
The sad thing is they don't even have the worst record in baseball. That shows how bad the White Sox are.
Is it still Chicago or is it still back to Miami?
No, it's Chicago. Miami. They're up. The Miami must have won a couple games in a row. They're up to.
You say a double-digit number?
Yeah, I think Miami just swept the Rockies.
Okay, so I take Miami over the Athletics?
Yeah, Miami just swept the Rockies.
You want to talk about awful baseball teams? The Rockies. Oh my God.
The Rockies, the White Sox, the Marlins are just so bad.
Guys.
And I kind of feel for the Marlins a little bit because their two best pitchers are out for the year because of Tommy John with Perez and Alcantara. That's a nuts 1-2 duo, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is. I love seeing the Athletics in third.
Yeah, ahead of the Astros.
Who are they're 11-20. All right, so
it's still crazy. The NL Central is the best division in baseball. That doesn't make any sense.
Wrong.
It's not the AL East. The Rays are in it.
Yeah, the AL Central is the only division that has 4 teams over 500.
Jesus.
The Diamondbacks are 14.
I mean, part of that's because they get to all beat up on the White Sox, but still. But I mean, Cleveland's 20-11. They're tied for the second best record in baseball with Orioles. KC's 19-13. Detroit's 18-13. Minnesota's 17-13. No one expected KC and Detroit to be this good. Cleveland, I could see. Minnesota, I could see. They just won the division last year, and then everyone knew the White Sox were going to be a joke. But I'm surprised Tampa, because normally Tampa, even though they have a bunch of no-names, they're still able to pull out a really good record because they I don't think we've ever been more injured since the last time we were this injured, I think was 2017. Well, and also the fact that their best player decided to become a pedophile and they traded away their other best player to the Dodgers for a bag of chips.
Yeah, it's rough. It's
funny because
straight to the point with that one.
Last year in my fantasy baseball league, I traded away Rondo Franco after like his first month of the season when he was batting like 500 for Ronald Acuna straight up.
You are a genius.
Yeah. I needed an outfielder. He needed a shortstop, and he's like, I'll give you Acuna straight up. I'm like, deal. Didn't even think about it after that. And then a month later, Franco stopped playing baseball, and Acuna won MVP. So,
Yep.
And I had like the greatest offense ever assembled. I had like him, Corbin Carroll, Corey Seager. Yeah, it was gross. I would have had Sean Murphy, but I dropped him after like 2 weeks, and then he went off.
Yeah, but you still have Acuna, Carroll, and Corey Seager.
And I had Garrett Cole and Spencer Strider as my top 2 pitchers.
Jesus.
Who are you playing with?
Well, I drafted Strider and Cole, and then
you drafted
Corbin
both
Carroll.
of them?
Some moron dropped Corbin Carroll after like 2 months. I picked him up and he went off. And then I traded for Corey Seager. I traded away like Jonathan India and Giancarlo Stanton right before he got injured. And then that's the same dude that I got Franco for Acuna straight up. I fleeced him twice.
Wow. I would leave.
Oh, it was insane. I mean, it's just like a free league that like it's just for fun.
Right,
but
and
like
this was last year.
Yeah.
I don't know who's taking Jonathan India.
And Jonathan India was actually he was having a really good start. And I traded for Seager like right after he got injured. He was out for 6 weeks. So I think the guy was just trying to get rid of him. But then he came back and took second in the AL MVP. So this year I'm getting carried by Juan Soto. So
as you should be.
Yes,
as you should
falls to me at pick 3, instant.
Guys, I don't want to.
I think I'm cooking in
I don't want to
fantasy
say
baseball.
anything.
I'm the second highest scoring team in my league. My offense is like super deep.
I'm undefeated.
I'm undefeated too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have my offense. I got Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Juan Soto, Riley Green. I took with like my last pick in the draft, and he's averaging 3 points a game.
What is this? This isn't fair.
My pitchers, I got Aaron Nola, Corbin Burns. Kevin Gausman's actually been pretty bad.
Yeah, but also he has been pretty butt cheeks.
Well, he actually just had 2 really bad games. Every other game, he's had 2 games in negative double digits, and every other game he's been above 10. So it's like 2 really bad games and 4 really good games. But the 2 bad ones killed him so bad. He scored me negative 25 points in 2 straight starts.
Oh. Negative 25.
Against the Yankees, he went 1 1/3 third inning and allowed 5 runs. And against Colorado, went 3 2/3 and allowed 6 runs.
Oh my god!
But then since then, he's gone. Let me do the math. 18 2/3 innings and allowed 2 runs.
Yeah, that
doesn't make any sense. But.
Also, I don't want to say anything, but I think Javi's back.
Baez?
Yeah.
Really? He's been cooking lately? I knew he started the year terrible.
He's still, as of right now, hitting 191. But his last 7 games, he's been in 208, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 ribbies.
That just shows
1 stolen base.
Oh, yeah, he's so back.
He's so back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like Yelich and Cody from last year.
It also helps that I have the best closer in baseball on my team.
Yeah.
Clay Holmes.
Edwin Diaz?
Clay Holmes hasn't allowed a run yet.
Edwin Diaz.
Clay Holmes has not allowed a run yet.
Edwin Diaz.
No, Clay Holmes is the best reliever in baseball so far this year.
Hasn't allowed a run?
He has not allowed a run in like 16 innings.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
Look at this stat line.
That's just disgusting.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
He also leads the league in fan heart attacks a game because in the 9th inning, he'll always seem to allow like a runner or two on base and then strike out the side or have him hit into a double play and gets out of it. It doesn't make any sense, but yeah, he has been the best closer in baseball, and it's insane.
Yeah,
We got him from the Pirates for basically nothing. Like, as much as I hate Brian Cashman, he is the best GM in baseball when it comes to finding relief pitcher talent. Every single year, the Yankees have like a top 5 bullpen. And out of like a bunch of no-name guys you've never heard of.
Yeah, like Garrett Cole.
Like
bullpen. Because, yeah, like Clay Holmes had like a 5 ERA for Pittsburgh, comes over, and since he's been in the Yankees, has like a 2.5. Like, he's cut it in half. And then back when we had Chapman, Betances, and Andrew Miller, basically if we were winning going into the 7th inning, you won the game, and it was so nice to watch.
We always forget Dylan Betances. That's just a name that always slips my mind. Anyway, we'll take a quick little shift here. Not break. Don't even worry. We're still here.
Yeah, no,
I wanted to get another sandwich.
We're still here, and my game's about to be finished.
Beautiful.
Yeah, go to break so you can finish the sandwich.
If anyone didn't know.
I mean, so you can finish this game.
We'll just no.
Is it draft related or just something else?
I will explain momentarily. There,
okay.
All of my answers are going to be Jalen Brunson.
We'll just go over the
even for football.
Yep.
Okay.
Wrong.
We'll go over
He's a dual
the
sport
last
athlete.
2 games here.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Hmm?
What are you doing?
What?
We'll go over the last 2 games, or just 2 games tonight for the NHL playoffs. At 7, it's the Canucks and Preds.
Canucks.
No, I think
I want to see that go 7.
I think Preds take it to 7.
Oh,
I would love to see that go 7, just because I want there to at least be one series to go, or another series to go 7, and I don't want to see Stars in Vegas go 7. I hate Vegas.
Yeah, and then the other game, Stars in Vegas.
Stars.
Dallas.
Give me Dallas. They've won 3 in a row, and it's not stopping now. Give me Dallas.
Please. Like, Lord, we don't talk a lot.
Lord.
But if you're going to do something good,
flip that.
Have Vegas just lose.
Yes.
Just be dominated tonight.
Because if they don't win it all this year, they're going to lose a lot of talent in free agency this year.
A lot.
Yeah, they only have like $6 million cap space, and they have like 4 or 5 starters that are free agents. They can bring back like one of them.
You're telling me they're going to keep both Hannafin and Hurdle?
And Marchessault?
Like, there's
no way.
Hurdle's
under contract for a long time, but I think...
Is he?
Yeah, I think the reason they got him at the value they did is because he signed like a 7-year, $8 million a year contract like last year or something. He's still got like 7 years left. It was a bad contract when San Jose gave it to him, and I think they realized they're just trying to get out of it. That's why Vegas got him at that deal, because that contract is going to be bad in like 4 or 5 years. But yeah, Hannafin, Marchessault, and I think they have a couple other starters. Like I think someone else from like another defenseman. I think maybe they have the one defenseman. Theodore is his last name, I think.
Yes.
I think he's a free agent. I think they have a plethora of free agents and like no cap space.
You mean that guy that sings next to Simon and Alvin?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Pietrangelo. He's why not go? Is he still under contract?
I'm searching right now. See if I search up Vegas Golden Knights free agents to see if I can. Nope, that's from last year. Come on.
All I've got to say, let's go Sharks.
See if I can get this. Let me just search up NHL free agents, and then it'll just hopefully tell me the teams.
Eichel signed his contract in 2017, the 8-year, $80 million.
No, I feel like it had to have been later than that. Maybe, but
when did Eichel?
Yep, Anthony Mantha is one of Vegas free agents. Alec Martinez, Jonathan Marchessault.
Yeah, they're losing.
That's 3 right there, and that's just 3 good players. I'm trying to see if I can get more.
Oh no, Eichel will be an unrestricted free agent after the completion of his contract in the 25-26 season.
So that's 2 years left.
Yeah.
Chandler Stevenson. I'd never heard of him, but I'm assuming he's probably a starter for Vegas. Yeah, that's 4 starters right there, and 3 of them are like very good quality starters. And yeah, with no cap space to re-sign it, I think they have like $6 million, so they could bring back like maybe Marchessault, maybe Martinez, and that's about it. So but then they'll probably just do the same thing they did last year, where Mark Stone will magically get injured with 30 games left and go on LTIR for the rest of the year and come back for round 1 of the playoffs, and they'll go and trade for someone that no one thought they'd be able to do.
Of course.
I just can't wait to see Vegas be bad. It's unfair. It's unfair. It's unfair that they have not had to go through pain and misery of their team being bad. They've been in the league for 7 years. They've made it to playoffs every year but one. They've already won a cup. They've been to 2 cup finals. That's more than the Sabres have done since 1970.
Literally inaugural year, they lose in the Stanley Cup Finals for the Capitals.
It's not fair to see them be this good while me as a Sabres fan hasn't seen my team in the playoffs since I was 8 years old. Maybe 7. It's 13 years, so actually 7. I think I was 7 years old the last time the Sabres were in the playoffs.
Yeah, other than, since 2015, other than that, all I heard was, the Panthers are probably leaving.
Yeah,
I just had to go, okay.
Let's go Sharks.
Go Sharks. Oh, my God.
Let's go Sharks.
Look up at his hat.
Look at this man.
Let's go Sharks. Let's go Sharks.
Let's go Sharks, baby.
All right. Well, Justin, how's the game going?
Oh, the game is completed, John.
It's complete.
Oh,
okay. Let's
get her done.
The game is here. All right.
Can I get a hint on what the game is so I can find some music, some background thing or something?
The game. You know what? Let me get some clown music in the background. Let me get some clown music.
All right. So we're going to be talking about Tobias Harris's statistics during the playoffs.
Yeah. Word.
Hang on, I gotta see how good my hat looks. Hang on, 1 sec. Gotta make sure I'm repping the Sharks right.
Let's go Sharks.
I want to try to time this right.
I think this should be good.
All right. Joel Embiid, when he said they were still going to win while being down 2-0. This is decent timing.
Good enough. So, the game that we're doing is they played for them. This game is in light of OBJ signing with the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, this is
These are players that you may have just forgot they suited up with an organization. I'm gonna say a player, and I'm gonna start listing their career path, and I'm gonna leave out one team. That one team, you guys are gonna have to guess. We're gonna do a 1v1v1. Most points wins. Just because there's 3 of us and we have enough mics for once. So, it'll be Alex versus Frank versus Tire Spike.
I thought it was Road Spike.
Can you name where they played? Or did they play there? Starting off with wide receiver Anquan Bolden.
Oh God, I'm gonna do terrible. I can only think of 2 teams he played for.
Well, there's only 32 to pick through.
I can actually think of 3 teams he played for.
Started with Arizona, then went to Baltimore, then went to San Francisco, then went where?
Seattle.
No, it's Spike. We're not. It's not like that. I'm gonna give you all a chance to answer. So think of your team.
That was my answer.
Think of your team.
I'll think of one. It's probably wrong, but...
Is this for Anquan Bolden?
Anquan Bolden. Started in Arizona, went to Baltimore, went to San Francisco, and then went where? Spike, what's your answer?
I'm taking that away. I'm going to go with... I have a strong gut feeling of Tennessee, so give me the Titans.
All right, the Titans. Frank, what's your answer?
I was between Tennessee and Indy. I'll go Indy to make it different.
I was also gonna go Tennessee.
Jesus Christ!
All right, so we got 2 answers of Tennessee and 1 answer of Indianapolis. The correct answer: Anquan Bolden wrapped up his career with the Detroit Lions.
Oh, wow! Okay, so the blue theme wasn't off, but
Tennessee's a place wide receivers go to die.
Yeah,
so.
You are right. You are right.
I don't know why I picture him in Indy, but I was like, it's Indy or Tennessee.
I think there's one I bet you're gonna name, and it's gonna be Tennessee.
All right,
Tennessee. Julio.
Moving on.
I wasn't even gonna be Julio.
Moving on. The greatest receiver of all time, Jerry Rice.
Oh, I know
Started his career in San Francisco, then went to Oakland, then went to my goodness, where did he go? Where did he go after Oakland? Where'd he go?
God.
Yeah. What is it?
I know where he went, but I don't want to go first because it's gonna give the answer to you guys.
I'll go first.
You'll go first. What'd you guess?
Oh wait, I don't. Oh. No, he didn't go to. Oh no, okay. No, he did go to Seattle.
Spike, what's your guess?
I'm confusing Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens because they just decided to keep going to random teams in their 30s. So I'm scared. But Fine. I'll say Seattle. I don't
It's
like
definitely
that.
Seattle.
It is indeed
I don't like that.
Seattle.
Okay.
It is indeed Seattle. Jerry Rice finished his career as a Seahawk. And now we're going to another, well, probably
Let's go,
most
brother.
well-known with the Seahawks. Matt Hasselbeck.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
Jesus
I
Christ.
think I can only give you 3 teams he played.
Yeah,
for.
now I'm going for gut feeling.
Started his career in Green Bay, then went to Seattle, then went to Tennessee, and then went where?
I
You know
think
what?
I know, but
I think I got it.
All right, we'll start with Spike.
Why do I feel like it's the Denver Broncos?
All right, Spike's guess is Denver. Frank, what do you got?
Arizona.
Indy?
The correct answer is the Indianapolis Colts.
Hey, is a good one.
So,
I did not know he played for Green Bay.
2-1-1. He did indeed start in Green Bay. Got drafted by Green Bay. But
Can I help you?
What are we doing? What are you doing right now? Do you guys know how to use your what?
Dan is not.
Dan's calling Frank a lemon.
Oh,
Essentially.
as he should.
Essentially.
Next up, probably one of my favorite players of all time, AP, Adrian Peterson.
I know.
I remember.
Started his career, obviously, in Minnesota, won an MVP, then booted on to Arizona, went to New Orleans, went to Washington, went to Detroit, went where, and then wrapped up with the Seattle Seahawks.
I know.
Wait. Yeah.
Spike,
I have no clue.
toss out a team, brother.
I have none at all.
Toss out a team, brother.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
You have a 1 in 27 chance.
I do.
Imagine he forgets and actually names one of the named teams.
God, why did he play for so many teams? It takes away so many options. Jesus Christ.
That makes it easier.
It kind of makes it harder. I don't know. I'll just forfeit the entire answer because I mind screwed myself thinking of all the teams he was on.
Spike taps out. Frank.
You said Detroit, right?
Did say Detroit.
All right, then New Orleans.
All right. Okay. Well, let me name the teams for you again.
You already said New Orleans.
All right, ready?
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't want to answer. He said so many teams.
Minnesota, Arizona, New Orleans, Washington, Detroit, where? Seattle.
Oh, God.
Spike, would you like another guess?
I'll take
Are we
a
gonna give
shot.
them, gonna give him a time limit.
Oh, where else?
I'll take another shot.
All right.
We've got 20 minutes.
Spike, give me an answer.
Screw it. Let's say he was on the Raiders for a hot second.
All right. What's your answer, Frank?
I was going to go Raiders.
Okay.
Titans.
The correct answer
No
is
way is it the
the
Titans.
Tennessee
What?
Titans.
No way.
Yeah.
Suited up.
Okay, so we're
Scored a touchdown for the Titans.
I remember that.
No way.
Scored a touchdown for the Titans.
God.
All right.
I was really hoping.
Ew. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. No, it's awful. It's awful.
I was really hoping you left out the Commanders when you were doing the Warriors.
That's why I said
No, he got 1,000 yards in Washington. I
Yeah,
couldn't
I
leave
know.
them out.
No, that's why I was hoping you thought that the 1,000-yard season would fly under
I
the
honestly
radar.
forgot he was in Seattle. I just remembered Tennessee.
I knew he was in Seattle at the end of the career. That's why I was hoping for that too. I was
right.
hoping the
This is
Commanders of Seattle was taken out.
Disgusting.
Yeah, no, it's gross.
Yeah, that's not nice. I don't like that.
All right. Next up, Latavius Murray.
Oh, God.
Started his career as a Raider.
Yeah.
Then went to Minnesota. Then was in New Orleans. Then was part of Big Truz in Baltimore. Where'd he go after that? Before wrapping his career up in Buffalo.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Where did Latavius Murray come from?
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Well, you went to Buffalo.
Yeah,
That's where you went.
I was hoping you were gonna leave the Saints out.
Gosh, Latavius Murray. Eagles. That's my answer. I don't know if it was my turn, but that's the answer I'm giving.
We'll go in a consistent order here. We'll go Spike. Says Philadelphia, Frankie.
Philadelphia.
felt right.
I'm backpacking.
Philadelphia.
Jacksonville.
Latavius Murray took a pit stop over there in Mile High. Was a Denver Bronco.
I was thinking Bronco and didn't say it.
Was a Denver Bronco before going to Buffalo.
I was thinking Broncos, and then I'm like, no, he wasn't in Denver.
All right, so the scores right now: Alex with 3, Frank
So
with 1,
difficult.
Spike with 1. We're moving on to Bobby Trees, Robert Woods.
Oh my!
Oh God! There's many. There's so many.
Started his career in Buffalo, then took his talents over to St. Louis/Los Angeles. Took a pit stop in where, and then finished in Houston.
I know. I remember thinking he was going to be insane for that team, and then just flopped.
Robert Woods, right?
Yes.
Bobby Trees, baby.
Did you say?
If one more answers the Tennessee Titans, I'm gonna break your laptop.
Can you say? Can you say the teams again?
Buffalo, Rams, who? Houston.
Wait.
Okay. Okay.
Spike.
No, I'm thinking of a different guy. Yeah, I'm staying Titans. I was thinking of a different fella.
Frank.
Now I don't know if it's Titans or this other team.
Yeah, because I've gotten one right.
No, I don't think it's him. I don't think he's the one that did it.
I feel like we're both confusing the same player right now, and I really hope we are.
3, 2, 1.
The Saints.
Titans.
The correct answer is the Tennessee Titans.
I thought he was going to be insane for the Titans that year. I thought he was going to be like one of their best wide receivers.
I don't know
completely
why
flopped.
I remembered Robert Woods on the Titans so profoundly, but I did.
What wide receiver went to the Saints that I'm thinking of?
Bobby Trees was indeed a Tennessee Titan.
Probably Jarvis Landry.
No, you're thinking of Brandon Cooks.
That's who I was thinking of. That's why I was confusing them.
That's where he got drafted.
Frank, were you thinking of Brandon Cooks too? That's why I was like, oh, I'm not 100% sure because I almost said the Cowboys.
Right.
I almost said Cowboys.
Next up, one of the longest careers for a tight end in NFL history.
Oh, is this who I think it is?
Mercedes Lewis.
Oh God!
Started his career with the boys down in Duval County. Took his talents over to Green Bay and wrapped up where?
Oh my God!
I think I know this.
Where did Mercedes Lewis retire?
I think I know this, and I hate that I know
Where
this.
did he retire?
It's
Spike,
such a bad
you
pick.
got an answer for me.
Such a bad pick. Okay, so it's garbage. Why do I feel like it's the Arizona Cardinals?
All right.
It's
Frankie.
not, but
The Raiders jumped out to me.
Is it the Chicago Bears?
It is the Chicago Bears.
I was gonna say that.
So gross. He was on the Bears last year.
I was gonna say Bears.
It is indeed the Chicago Bears.
On the tip of my tongue.
It was indeed.
I was gonna say it, but I felt like the Cardinals would be such an insane poll. It'd be funny.
All right, we're going to move on to debatably
65.
one of the best receivers in NFL history.
I think I know this.
Randy Moss.
I know the answer.
Started his career in Minnesota. Went where? Then went to New England, then to Tennessee, wrapped up his career in San Francisco.
Oh my God. I thought he jumped from Minnesota to New England.
Nope.
I know there was a pit stop, but I just can't put my finger on where the pit stop was.
I know he was a Titan.
Spike, you have an answer for me?
My answer is delusional, so I'm not gonna say it.
Well, you should. Delusional's better than nothing.
I remember the. Screw it. We were grabbing old heads for no reason. Jets.
He wasn't an old head at that point.
I know, but we were just grabbing random play. I don't know why I feel like that's. I know it's wrong. But
Frankie, what's your answer?
My God.
Randy
This
Moss.
sucks. I really thought it was Minnesota straight to New England.
3, 2, 1.
Tennessee, even though it's at the end of the year.
Give me the Raiders.
The Raiders is correct. Alex is running away with it at this point.
Yeah. Shoot. I only got 2.
We're moving on to a very prolific player. One could say he's prime time.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Deion Sanders.
I think I can name 3 of his teams.
Started out in Atlanta. Took his talents to San Francisco. Then went to the rival Dallas. Went where? And then wrapped his career up in Baltimore.
Okay, I got it.
Where?
I got it.
I actually don't know this one, so I'll go first because I would just probably say whatever Frank said, so I'll just go with the Eagles.
All right. Spike.
Where did the brother play before the Ravens? Oh boy.
It was an interesting pit stop.
Interesting. Yeah, we got no clue. I'm going to say the Raiders.
Frankie.
He took us down to the White House and that good old Washington Redskins.
He did do that.
Oh my God, I completely forgot about them.
All right.
So weird.
I forgot. I honestly did not know that one.
Score check. Is it 5-2-2 or
Yes.
6-2-2?
I think 5.
5-2-2.
5-2-2.
All right. Next up,
Oh boy.
Kyle Van Noy.
Oh God.
Oh, where hasn't he played?
Started in Detroit, took his talents over to New England, won a Super Bowl or two, then went to the rival Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Went where? And then ended his career in Baltimore.
Oh.
Cowboys.
Is that your answer, Spike?
Yeah.
All right.
That was also my answer. Was the Dallas Cowboys.
Alex?
Vikings?
He took his talents to the boys in the Chargers.
Who's the Chargers?
It was
What
the
did I
know what
Chargers.
the
What?
The LA Chargers.
That's gross.
Disgusting.
That's so gross.
That makes me sick to my stomach.
We're number 8 before Kenneth Murray took it
Oh,
from
that's
him.
even more gross.
Oh God. Ew.
Frank has to go double check this because he doesn't believe
he's
it.
gotta look at
Oh
it.
my God.
Oh.
Moving
It
on.
is disgusting.
What's it with
It's
these random
anybody's-
teams in
It's
number
anybody's game, but moving on to a joke of a player, if you will. Jadeveon Clowney
8? Tobias.
Oh.
started
I remember 4 of
his
his games.
career in Houston. Then went where? And then went to the rival Tennessee Titans, Cleveland, finishing his career in Baltimore.
Oh,
I know
okay.
it.
I got it.
I got it too.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, well, I guess I'm taking
Spike.
L. Sheesh. Where did he go after Houston? Why can't I remember?
No.
Oh,
Wait, am I
Cowboys.
wrong?
Cowboys. All right.
Am I wrong?
Right.
It's Seattle.
It is Seattle.
It is
It was
Seattle.
Seattle. Dang it.
It is Seattle. And now we're moving on to the king of the interception, Brett Favre.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, this is.
Oh.
Isn't
Wait.
this
Now
three?
this is
No.
making me confused. Did he play
No.
for a 4th team?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's
Start-
another team in there.
Started his
Oh, no.
started his career where? Then went to Green Bay.
Oh, I know this.
Went to the Jets and then finished in Minnesota.
Oh, I know this. I was thinking end of his career, but I remember this now.
Who drafted Brett Favre?
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God.
I wasn't around during the housing crisis. I wouldn't know this. What?
Spike, you got a guess for me, brother?
I wasn't born when the Axis powers were being made. What? I don't know this. What?
Take a stab, brother.
What team would have been dumb enough to let Brett Favre walk?
There's one team I can think of.
I know it.
God.
They traded him for like nothing, too.
Golly, will I'm not looking. I'm not looking. I gotta figure this out on my own.
2, 1. Need an answer, Spike.
Church. The Church.
The Chargers.
I don't know.
The Chargers. Frankie, what's your answer?
It feels like something the Cleveland Browns would do. It's
The
not
Atlanta Falcons.
The Atlanta
Oh my
Falcons.
God.
They traded him for nothing. It was like a
It was
terrible.
it was a 6th and a 5th round pick.
Did
Yeah.
he play a game at all?
He did. He played 2 games for the Atlanta Falcons. Fun fact for you: Brett Favre's first ever completion was to himself.
Hey, Marcus Mariota.
That's insane. I did not know that.
Yep. Brett Favre's first completion was
Wasn't
to
like one of
himself.
his like first games ever. He threw like 5 picks in the first half or something in some awful game.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. But moving on
Dear
to
God.
Torrey Holt. Oh, everybody knows this guy was a Rams lifer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wrong. Where did he end his career?
Cardinals. I'm locking that in. It's completely wrong, and that just feels right.
I have a guess.
Frankie, got an answer for me?
That just feels right, but I have no idea.
Where did Torrey Holt? The Carolina Panthers.
The Ravens?
The correct answer is them boys down in Duval County.
Oh,
Torrey Holt was a Jacksonville
I
Jaguar.
kind of remember that now.
We got 2 left. Still anybody's game, believe it or not. Golden Tate started off in Seattle. Obviously lit it up in Detroit. Went where before ending his career with the New York Giants?
Oh, darn it. I was
Taking
hoping
away the
you
easy
weren't-
ones!
I was hoping you weren't going to say Giants.
Can I get the teams again?
Started in Seattle, went to Detroit, went where, and then finished with the Giants. Spike, you got an answer for me?
Why do I feel like he was an Eagle? Like a year.
Frankie, you got an answer?
That actually kind of feels right.
Are we all locking in the Eagles?
No, I'll go different. I'll go Houston.
Yeah, me and Spike are both going to Eagles. I think, right, Spike?
Was he? Yeah, I feel like he was an Eagle.
That just kind of feels right.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now, once you said that, I'm like, that just kind of feels right.
I feel like he was in that division for a year. I was Cowboys or Eagles. I'm like, Eagles.
That felt right.
And last but not least, 3 points up for grabs on this last one.
So if I don't get this, then I tie. No, I think I have a
4-point
lead right now.
I think you do.
Yeah.
I think I have 8-3-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
5.
So
who cares? 3 points up for grabs.
Make it 10.
Ryan Fitzmagic.
Oh, I know.
Where hasn't he?
Started with the Rams.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Went where?
Oh, I know it.
Then went to Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Went where? Then went to Houston. Then went to the Jets. Then went to Tampa Bay.
Easy.
Went where? And then finished in Washington.
I know all
Easy.
3. I can get all 3.
Wait,
I
there
know
are 3
the-
missing?
Yeah.
I know the Dolphins are one of them because you didn't say that team.
Oh, you didn't? All right, so yeah.
Buccaneers.
I already said that. He said that.
Yeah.
He said Bucs.
Tampa
You did?
Bay.
Oh, okay, so I do have the Dolphins there.
So it's Rams, skip, Buffalo, skip, Houston, New York, Tampa Bay, skip, Washington.
Oh, God, do I? Like
Bengals, Dolphins. One more. I need one more.
Oh, you play the game, you absolute loser schmuck of a person.
I can't think of the third one. Bengals, Dolphins. Who is the third team that this man had taken his amazing talents to?
3,
Whoa,
2,
I'm thinking about multiple answers here.
1. Give me an answer, Spike.
I hate you. Can I just get 2 points for guessing 2?
Sure, but I need the third answer.
Gosh, darn it. Commanders.
That was one of the teams
Dang
listed,
it.
but that's okay. Frank.
Yeah, it's Dolphins, Bengals, and I've been trying to think of the other team this entire time. Oh. No.
3, 2, 1. Need an answer?
Yeah, I know.
Then say it.
Yeah, I know.
Just guess a random team.
Spit it out, brother.
The Toronto Argonauts.
It's the Bengals, Titans, and Dolphins.
It is the Bengals, Titans, and Dolphins.
I remember that Titans quarterback room with him and Zach Mettenberger.
It was indeed
LSU legend.
Zach
God.
Mettenberger.
Yeah, so gross. When they Bishop Sankey as their running back
Yeah.
right
Do I still
before they
get two-
drafted Marcus Mariota.
Do I still get my 2
Awful.
points?
You do get your 2
Okay, I
points.
finished
and
in second.
And so does Frank. But that'll do it for this game.
Oh, we
A
tied.
bit of an on-the-fly game. I made it up in 20 minutes. Fun, not
It was
fun.
fun.
How we feeling?
I like
Heck
that.
of a game.
That was
Heck
fun.
of a
I
game.
cooked
That
on
was
it.
fun.
You did cook.
I
did
love
cook.
you. I love trying to pull out ball knowledge, so it's fun.
You
God,
did cook.
Wish
But-
I got that Fitzpatrick
Yeah,
one.
Fitzpatrick one's
The
gonna make
Dolphins.
it.
I've
the
done
Dolphins,
so many
Bengals were
just
the
a
only two I knew.
watched so many trivia games with Fitzpatrick on it that I know exactly every single team he's played for down
That's
to a
what-
T.
And they made him a special helmet with all the teams, so I'm just I've looked at that helmet so many times.
I
know
thought you
the
guys were gonna get the Bengals wrong. I thought the Titans was a little easier.
No,
Yeah, no, I definitely thought
knew
the Titans
Bengals and
was.
Dolphins.
I definitely thought
The
Titans
Dolphins one was
easier
the
than
easy
Bengals.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
But that'll not only do it for the game, but
That's probably doing it for
but
the show.
Frank, I think that'll do it for the Blitz.
Yeah, it's coming up on the weekend. It's gonna be a little sad. 2 days without everyone.
Oh my goodness!
Can't wait to go golfing after this.
Yeah.
I'm going to the
golfing
beach
by my
later.
house with a
Frank?
couple of my friends.
I don't know what you're doing this evening, but bar crawl for the rugby team.
Where?
We're starting out in McGarrett's, and then we're just tracking our way back down Elmwood. We'll end up probably in Coles, probably in GB.
I can't wait till I turn 21 and I
I'll
can
be there
join
at the
you.
finish line for y'all.
Sounds good to me.
If you were back next semester, I would join you, but I'm not 21 yet.
Oh,
And
I might be. You might not get enough of Duval quite
I
yet.
don't think we've seen the
I don't-
end of Duval here.
I don't think you've seen the end of Duval, not yet. But
I hope not.
But that'll be for another day, another time, another rant. Frank, send us away, brother.
Everyone just give it. Well, we'll go in order. It's not gonna be chaos here. Alex, throw out your socials.
My Instagram is amiley21 and my Twitter is ajbud7.
You can follow me, TikTok or X at jbach, BACH22.
He's good. All right. You can find me on Instagram at SPIIKE_172. And I'm going to pause on my Twitter/X because I'm like 50-50 on whether I want to keep it anymore or not because I just don't use it.
That's fair. That's fair. You can find me on Instagram at FrankLopez_561 or at X at Frank561Lopez. Enjoy the weekend. It's going to be beautiful out. Go hit some balls. Go hoop. Go do whatever you got to do. But always remember, go Panthers. Go Panthers. Go Panthers.
Let's go Rangers.